Greetings to you wherever you are. I hope this live meet you in good health and strength. Okay, today gonna be a great day. It's a very bright sun, shiny day. And as you know, I am the sun man who have been teaching you throughout the ages the inner sun science and technology to create your reality consciously. Teaching you the inner science of the inner sun. Okay. And that is why today I want us to have this lively and healthy discussion concerning the most important and most powerful medication there is to bring full divine healing to this world. And so when I was thinking about this subject of finding the cure for poverty, I realized that there's a lot of patients throughout the world that need this kind of medication to give them the healing that they desire, the financial healing, and to break the chains of economic slavery. Moreover, to break the chains of mental slavery. Okay? Now, before I go any deeper, I just want to remind you of a man who had the cure for cancer, had the cure for AIDS. And when he told the world and the medical establishment that he had the cure, they doubted him and they wanted to put him in court and they wanted evidence. That man was a man who looks just like me, and his name was Dr. Sebi. Okay? And so Dr. Sebi brought the remedy to all of humanity of how they could heal themselves naturally and remind them that your food is your medicine and your medicine is your food. Okay? Now, this cure for poverty that I'm going to share with you, the reason why I am using the word cure, it is because it's a sickness. It's a disease. And this disease have been passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation to generation. And it have affected melanated people the most because of what was done to them. That's the reason why in a continent like Africa that have everything that this world needs for advancement, there's so much people that is suffering with this disease, this mental disease. And this mental disease is a man-made disease. Just like AIDS, just like Ebola, and the many other diseases that they make in the lab to keep a people stagnated. And so when we look at how this disease get to capture Africa, we would see that it was done through a religious agenda, a program. But this religious agenda, a program, could not have been successful unless there were bloodshed and violence that was used. So fear was what was used to program the minds of these people so that they had generational poverty being passed down to them. But I'm here to show you that there is a remedy. I'm here to show you that there is a key. I'm here to show you that there is a cure. And so if you would listen with an open mind and you be willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind, I can guarantee you that from this day on, you will start your generational wealth, and your generation will benefit from this conversation right now. I can guarantee you this day, these words will be fulfilled in your ears. I can guarantee you that the blind will see. I can guarantee you that the deaf would hear. I can guarantee you that the financially sick would be healed. I can guarantee you the lame and all the ones that are sick and hurt, they would be healed. I can guarantee you that you will no longer be a debt slave to the banks and the credit unions if you accept this medication that I'm going to serve you. But of course, you have to accept the fact that something was passed down to you from your parents. And because you are willing to accept that, you must also be willing to unlearn everything that was passed down to you. You have to be willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind in order for you to attend to this serious disease, this serious mental sickness. Because there is no virtue in poverty, there's no virtue in lack, and there's no virtue in you holding on to false spirituality that is pointing you to look outwardly and having you denying that your real identity is your divinity. So for example, if you're listening to me and you're born and you grow up in a colony, like for example, if you're listening to me and you have roots in the Caribbean, you're from the Caribbean, okay, go ahead and comment down below where you're from, whether you're from Jamaica, whether you're from Grenada, whether you're from Dominica, whether you're from Barbados, Trinidad, whether you're in America, Canada, England, wherever you are, and you can trace your roots back to some colonial island, let me know, okay, and be part of the conversation, because you will understand where I am coming from. And so once you've been raised in a colonial nation, a system have already been set in place to impact you with this disease. It is similar to the inoculation that was given 2020 to 2022, but just mean they're inoculating you from a very young age, both physically, because they do vaccinate the children in school, okay? They're doing that, plus they're indoctrinating you to keep you a financial slave, an economic slave. And the teachings that they're giving you is doing the same. And that is why there must be a mind cure. So I'm bringing this mind cure to you. And the very first thing I want to point out to you is that it is your belief system that is reflecting back in your life, whether you believe it or not. Let me run that again. It is your belief system that is reflecting back in your life. So you trapped in debts. You own by the, for example, my 99.99999% of people in my country, they own by the banks and the credit unions, their houses, their vehicles, the land. The banks own those people. And the people who run the banks, like for example, in my country, you have the Bank of Nova Scotia. So you know that way back in Canada. And then you used to have the Barclays Bank. It just lately, they removed from out of the islands and they set the government over these banking systems. So you know something is up, okay? But let me not digress too far from what I'm trying to bring to you. So these banks and these credit unions that have been set up, they've been set up knowing that you've been already indoctrinated as a child, because they understand that when the book of mind science, which they use to make you think that it's a religious book, and they do that to trap you, to keep you in mental slavery and poverty. They read in that book of mind science where it says that if you train up a child in a certain way, that when they become older, they won't depart from that way. And so the Jesuits, who knew what this was all about, they always say, if you give them a child, they would show you the adult that would become. The Catholics would tell you that too. You give them a child, and you have a Catholic for life. Well, I'm saying to you, many have been slaves, just waiting on retirement. But I'm here to change that, because I have the medicine for you. Just like Dr. Sebi had the remedy, I have the remedy, because I'm telling you, it's a mind cure, okay? And that's why I'm saying, not until you're willing to curse the idol that was given to you, and literally shit on that idol that was given to you. Not until you're willing to curse the paper Jesus. Not until you're willing to curse the white Jesus that was given to you. The blonde hair, blue eye idol that was given to you. And learn to love and embrace yourself and believe in yourself. You will be able to even make the first step in curing yourself or curing your mind. Because if you at the point where you can't say fuck Jesus, you can't get no healing, because you still believe that if you say that, you're going to be blaspheming. You're still brainwashed. You're still diseased. You're still carrying the disease inside of you. No. Whenever you go to a doctor and you go to that doctor, you're looking for some sort of healing. Well, the doctor always asks you a question. Does high blood sugar runs in your family? Does diabetes run in your family? Does heart problem runs in your family? Why does the doctor ask you if these things runs in your family? Well, there's such a thing as epigenetics, and things definitely do pass down. Like, for example, when you look at George Bush Sr., he was president of America. Then you have George Bush who? Jr. He became what? President of America. If you look at Floyd Mayweather, you're not going to expect Floyd Mayweather's son to turn out being, say, like a preacher. No, you're going to expect him to turn out to be a boxer, a great sportsman. So we are actually downloading everything that is within us into another when it comes to we dealing with our progenitor to bring forth of our own kind. So that is how poverty was able to pass down from generation to generation. Like, for example, if a man was an alcoholic and he download into a woman and she bring a son, most likely he might become an alcoholic too. Well, down throughout the ages, the rich has all been teaching their children to be rich, and the middle class been teaching their children to be middle class, while the poor has been teaching their children to be poor. And let me tell you how the program has been run in my country. For example, the person who's running this country from the political level, right? He promised the people and tell them, he gave them an education revolution. And this education revolution is academic education. And when you look in the city, the people who own the biggest business, it have nothing to do with any education that they acquire. And so many of us were raised and was told that we must educate to eradicate poverty. That's the biggest lie that been ever fed to humanity. Because when they say educate, they are trying to tell you to go to school and get good grades. But that is keeping you limited. And that is still keeping you in a mindset of lack. That is why I would have put a book together called Meditate to Eradicate Poverty. So meditation is the medication that I'm offering to you. That is why the preachers cannot be the preachers with the established churches without the politicians having the political system, because when they apply to preach and to run a ministry, they have to make sure signed under whether they're going to be evangelical or they're going to be Pentecostal or whatever, one of the bodies they must come under before they could get their permission, so that it wouldn't the money wouldn't be seen as money laundering. Money laundering, I should say, as money laundering. Okay? So the whole political system is behind the religious system. So when you understand that the political system is behind the religious system, you would realize that anyone you get involved in, you are involved in a cult that wants to culture you to think and act a certain way, and so keep you in a mindset of lack and scarcity, keep you being sick, mentally speaking, psychologically speaking, and spiritually speaking. So, as I was mentioning earlier, that he promised them an education revolution. But from since 2017, I've been offering the world an imagination revolution. Because everything in this world, it was first imagined. It was first a thought, it was first an idea, and it was first imagined. The school, the building that they call school, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. The bench, the desk, all of these things. The pencil, the pen, the books you read, you used to write in, the books you used to read, they were all first a thought, it was first an idea, they were first imagined, they all came from the mind. So that is why I am bringing you the mind cure. And I'm saying to you, in order to cure your mind from this disease, you have to understand that your belief system is what is messing you up. And your belief system have been passed down from generation to generation upon you. So this man, who's actually the son of a farmer, slave master, and you can trace his ancestry all the way back to Europe, he is keeping them still in poverty by offering them academic education and not the power of their own imagination. Now, it is the same thing that was done to you by the clergy and their theology that they use and interpret to point you to look outwardly, making you believe that there's some outside entity that's going to come and save you, when the saving power is within you. The redeeming power is within you. And I want you to accept that power by practicing daily meditation and visualization. And I'm not just saying this without making a provision for you. I provided you with the most ancient and powerful breathing technique. And it is on my university. And it is the honey sexual breathing, which carries the song of the universe. That is why they've been using music to continue to trap you in poverty. They use Beyonce. They use Jay-Z. Beyonce and Jay-Z was given a lot of money to sing those songs that they sing. When they talk about Jesus is king, your imagination is king. When Beyonce say that, when Jesus say yes, when your imagination say yes, no one else could say no. But the people who own these labels, who own the music industry, who run the NBA, NFL, you name it, even social media, and I'm not afraid to speak, okay? because I know who I am. Okay? They are the ones who pay them millions and millions of dollars. And they didn't write those songs. They put those songs together for them to continue to program you to have a religious and a superstitious mindset. While they continue to build more and more resorts in the islands to continue to have the people as dead slaves, paying them meager wages. So my brother, my sisters, are you willing and ready to break the course? If you do, comment down below. I will run through your comments, okay? So I'm gonna make this lecture just a little bit more shorter so I can go through all of your comments and elaborate a little bit more, okay? Because it is time for us to use reverse psychology. It is time for us to recognize the traitors among us. These preachers with their mega churches and their private jets and their luxury homes, they're selling you out. And these influencers who look like you, don't make them trick you because they have the same complexion like you. Look at their wives, see who they're married to. I could call so many names. Okay, don't get influenced by them. Because the fact that they're trying to tell you that they want to awake you and they want to help you and they want to see you break all form of economic slavery, yet they can't embrace the black woman. And they can't talk about Black Wall Street. As a matter of fact, let me go there a little bit. My brother, my sisters, no melanated man who's awakened and enlightened and want to see you prosper and expand can sit in front of you and hide the fact of what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma in around 1921. Never forget that. I am asking you right now at this moment to just reflect and channel your ancestors who was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who are builders, who are thinkers, who are innovators, men and women who would have discovered this same remedy to end all form of poverty. They are waiting on you to reprogram your subconscious mind, to channel them, to pass that power to you. Because what they did in Tulsa, Oklahoma can't stop us. Can never stop us. We're going to just get more and more and more powerful all the time. That can't stop us. That is why I will never encourage anyone to come on this live and text anything saying about, oh, protect this man at all costs. I will never support that bullshit. No one could protect you. No bodyguard could protect you. As a matter of fact, there was a bodyguard who took a bullet, I think, for Reagan. I think it was Ronald Reagan. And a Jamaican singer, a reggae singer. I can't remember if it was Born in Spade, one of those people sing a song. I can't remember if it's Bonnie Wheeler, one of them. Sing a song. Though he can't sorry for the bodyguard. You have to realize that death is inevitable. It is part of life. Because you can't die unless you live. But you wanna live and die as a true champion. You wanna die a brave man and not a coward. You wanna die a leader and not a follower. That is why I could never be a true melanated, enlightened, self-aware person and ain't remember Tulsa, Oklahoma. That is why I will never mix my seed with another. That is why I will never bring a hybrid into this world. As a matter of fact, let me say this. Do you know that they are right now looking for the perfect hybrid? I wonder if Candace Owens know that. with the vampire that he mating with. Being such a defiled woman. And black people listen to she. Black people listen to Beyonce. A bunch of women just the other day, they say when Beyonce canceled. So blind. All that is poverty. Doesn't matter how much money you get. Poverty is of the mind, is a disease. They're sick. Don't get caught up because these people could speak well. Are they well articulate? Don't get checked with that. Don't get checked because you see she quoting Bible scriptures and debating so-called rabbis in so-called Israel. Don't get checked with that. She's defiled. So, my brothers and my sisters, I'm here to represent melanated people all around the world. I know I'm going to mash some cons. And I'm going to ruffle some feathers. Okay? Because the biggest agenda in this world is to keep you in financial and economical slavery. That is why they do everything to keep Africa the way that they would have kept Africa for so many years. So, when a man comes and says, I have the remedy, don't doubt him. Because look, I'm going to show you a man who come and he say he had the remedy. And nobody doubt him. Go on the internet right now and type in The Strangest Secret in the World by All Nightingale. And you will realize why he sold 1 million records back in the day. And why he had such a strong influence. And you will understand that he was speaking a language that was symbolic. And then you use reverse psychology and you see that is the Bible they use to keep you in mental slavery by interpreting it to you a certain way. Then, when you listen to The Strangest Secret, when he says that we become what we think about, before he says that we become what we think about most of the time, what he said he searched for the key. Do you realize I was searching for the key all my life? And then he said, have he found the key? Then he tell you what, if you become what you think about most of the time, and you go to school, and in the morning, you have to say praise. And in the afternoon, you have to say praise again. And then when you come back from lunch, you go back in your class, you have to say praise again to white Jesus. And then in the evening, before you leave school, you have to say praise again to white Jesus. And then when you go home, your idiotic parents who do not know better, and I have to use that word, okay? Because of what been happening to them and what passed down. They have you going on your knees also and saying praise to Jesus. So if you're going to become what you think about most of the time, and you've been repeating that all the time, and when you understand how the power of repetition really works, you would realize why so many black women normally come on dating shows and asking black men, are you a man of God? They never ask them, are you a God man? They always put in the man before the higher self. They always put in the flesh before the spirit. Your spirit, you have in a human experience. If you listen to me and you're a black female, get rid of that stupidity that you get from your parents. There's no such a thing as no man of God. You're either a God man or you're no man at all. Everything that you have, you can find it in a pig. You can find it in a dog, except mind and speech. And that's what makes you God. Let me show you something about the body. This is master. And this is slave. There have been a universal game that's been played. It's called master and slave. And you have the choice. You can be master or you can be slave. From here down, you could be slave. And you cannot deny that you have a head and you have a body. So when the white man give you white Jesus with the blonde hair and the blue eye, he's just playing the game. So you take the part of the slave and he take the part of the master. So how you gonna blame him? How you gonna hate on him? I can't hate on him. Except when they go burn Black Wall Street. But when you've been given a choice now, and you have awakened, enlightened people like me coming and showing you that this is the master, and down here is the slave, and you take any part of the slave, what you think gonna happen? They're gonna have you working in their homes. They're gonna have you working on their fields. When they started televisions all the back in the days, the first time they started to incorporate melanated people in their movies was in the kitchens, cleaning their houses. And even among melanated people, when they want to show a sign of wealth, they employ someone to work in the house. My mother used to do that. My grandmother used to do that. Since I know myself growing up, my grandmother used to be working with rich people. And then my mother came and was doing the same thing too, working with rich people. And they never became rich themselves. Because why? They were still carrying the disease. It's a mental disease. And my grandmother all the time had a picture with a blonde hair and a blue-eyed boy stick up in the house. And I used to sit and used to watch that picture. And I remember my grandmother tell me that this man died for my sins. And he coming back. But I've been seeing the sun, as in the SUN, keep coming back. And giving me the dawn of a new day. And I realize there's only light and darkness. And they're keeping in the darkness. And so when you study all of these self-help authors and speakers, they're hiding something. That's why if you listen to Stranger's Secret by Earl Nightingale, you'll hear when he says that the carpenter of Galilee tell us the secret time and time again. You will realize they never just ever deny their idol. Because why? It's an image of themselves. So when he said the carpenter of Galilee, if you do not understand a carpenter is a builder, and you do not realize what you just build and mold and shape with is your mind, your awareness, your consciousness, your imagination, then you will understand the power of visualization. You will understand the power of meditation. Let me just wait with the wind calm a little. Okay? That is why people like Doreen vote you, I think, yeah. Who tried to tell you that she went from New Age to Christianity. All of that is a part of their agenda and their program, you know, to keep you stupidity. That is why when they bring out the book, The Secret, and the movie with Rhonda Burns, they hide certain things from you deliberately. That is why they keep posting up videos on the internet and saying, this is not magic, it's only this and it's only that. It's all bullshit. You're a magician. Because why? They give you a certain concept about magic. They make you religious and superstitious and make you go against your own science. And then they make you think that magic is different to what they call miracles. And so they show you a white boy and tell you the white boy do miracles. And you believe that. And what you're doing, you're giving your energy away and it's selling itself short. So my brother and my sisters, let me go back to what I was saying concerning why you should never mix a seed and why they're looking for the perfect hybrid. If they find the perfect hybrid, that's why, as I said, and let me repeat it again, I can't listen to people like Candace Owens' name. I could call her the name, man. I call the name. Billy Carson, all them who are married to a white woman and so on and marry us. I can't listen to them. They can't come and wake you up. Don't let nobody fool you. The ancestors can't stand by their side. That's why you see certain people will collab with them. They wouldn't collab with me. I too plain and straight. I don't kiss ass. Because if a Caucasian try to collab with me, I will ask him questions about your ancestors and their lies. And show him that he benefit from the lies. And that he was given certain privilege from the lies. And that anything that goes up have to one day come down. And that our people must and will liberate themselves. They will emancipate themselves. It doesn't matter how long it takes. They're going to emancipate themselves. When we reach to a place that we don't fear death, they use the church. So that's why they have the funeral. I do a different video on that. Weddings and funerals. These two big scams. Okay. So my brother and my sisters, as I was saying, concerning the hybrid, they're looking for the perfect hybrid. Whenever they get the perfect hybrid, remember, in the Olympics, Jamaicans won't be winning again. You wouldn't have Jamaican being fastest man and fastest woman, you know. Well, Serena Williams sell out. She's another one who defiles she womb. Okay. You wouldn't find, why you think they wanted Floyd Mayweather, they want to break it, legacy too, you know. And the fight with him and Conor McGregor was only the repeating a history. It was history repeating itself, but most people don't know that. But I know that. And if you here watching me and you have Jamaican roots, I want this go good. So I'm waiting with the wind just settle down as much as possible before I make this point. If you have Jamaican roots, I want to share something with you. Okay? And if you're a Jamaican, listen to me. Listen to me. Jamaica has always had a division. And before I go further back, I'll show you where you might be able to remember. There was a time there was a big division between Edward Seaga and Norman Manley, and Bob Marley, who was a hybrid. Okay, he bring them together. But before that, in the Blue Mountain, when I had that challenge with the English general, he didn't come alone. He came with a lot of men. And who were these men? Men that look just like me. Who would have sold their soul. They're still here. And when we had that boxing match, it wasn't two hands. It was one hand. One hand behind the back. And we box. And my men, the guns that would have taken after we defeated some of them in the Blue Mountain, we had some and they had some. And we had them pointed to each other. And when we had that showdown, and I knock him down with one hand, and I being a true general and a true leader, and a man of honor, I hold him by his hand, and I lift his hand up with my hand. And my men shouted, and his men shouted. And those men who look just like me, they went back with their master. And up to this day, they're in Jamaica. And that's why they have a bunch of fake Maroons in Jamaica. How could you be a Maroon leader and have a church? There's no such a thing as a Maroon church. We have never been worshippers of any other race. So how could they build a Maroon church? I will expose all the fakes. And who's a Maroon? You think a Maroon is just a man who lives in Jamaica? The mystical line will stay forever. You think because a man went to university, he become a Maroon leader? That is why Jamaica is divided up to this day. And the people who control the wealth in Jamaica are not the Jamaicans who have the wealth in Jamaica. That is why our people need this medicine that I'm giving to end all economic slavery. Because it's of the mind. It's a disease. It's a sickness. That is why I'm saying, unless you can say fuck white Jesus, paper Jesus, and shit on that white idol they give you to worship, you'll always remain a loser. They will all time control you economically. That's why they set up their children in these countries and they're still the ruling class while you still believing some man coming to save your black ass. No man coming from the sky to save you. You gotta save yourself. By what? Taking claim to your mind. The greatest possession you will ever have. It's your mind. Don't make politicians control your mind. Don't make preachers. Fuck the preachers. I always say I have a middle finger for the preachers and I have one for the politicians. Self-government is power. You have to rule over yourself and you have to conquer fear because death is inevitable. No one leaves here alive. Don't be a coward. So Jamaica is divided up to this day because why? Some of them sold themselves to the plantation up to this day. And some idiots try to speak against Kojo. You don't know what you're talking about. The history they give you about Nani and Kojo, they didn't give you the real history. I can rewrite history in all of these Caribbean islands. Don't let nobody fool you. Why do you think you have people like Marcus Garvey and all of these people? Why do you think they just do so good in sports? But I'm telling you, the day they get the perfect hybrid that they want. So all these ignorant melanated man would make a pale woman spread her leg and trick them because they're looking for a certain child. Don't get tricked with the for those of you who might be familiar with Andrew Tate and Christian Tate and all of them. You see the power of a hybrid. Why you think Jonathan Majors, even this man who went so viral, break the internet with Cat Williams, Shannon Sharp, he sell himself so short. I'm still teaching you how poverty is the weapon and how you have to get the cure. After he break the internet with Cat Williams, now this man had to go settle over what, 25 million or more to some little bitch. You understand what I'm saying? Because why? Maybe he's not man enough. I don't have bars enough to deal with a black woman. It's not easy to deal with a black woman. You have to be a real man to deal with a black woman. Okay, a real black woman. I'm not talking about deceive, defile one. Okay, I'm not talking about an intellectual idiot who talk about I have a degree. The fuck? We got a degree. The only degree I have is 360 degree. The circle. So my brother, my sisters, right now, the part of my personality you're seeing is the lion. Yeah. The time when I could roar. And the time I could be like the lamb. But when it comes to poverty, you gotta hate that fucking shit. You hate poverty with all your heart and all your mind. And hate church. Don't hate the Bible. Learn it and understand it and use reverse psychology. Understand it metaphysically, esoterically, and psychologically, and then use reverse psychology, and you will see that is what they use to keep you in mental slavery, and you will emancipate yourself. That is why I would reiterate again that all these mega preachers, the reason why they have many different homes and in many different countries, they are planning when to flee. Just now, they might be looking for underground tunnels. These houses they building underground. I forgot what you call them. That they building underground. Just now, these preachers will be looking for them. Because, as I said, when the people in Africa wake up and realize these mega preachers have been using them and abusing them and raping the subconscious mind for so long, they will have to flee. So my brother, my sisters, don't be a horse slave. Be a free man. The reason why I could sit here, because there were men and women who had decided to be free men and free women because they were not afraid of death. and they wasn't afraid of anything. And that is why they give birth to someone like myself, because the energy is still around and you can channel that energy. And because of that, they try to keep you afraid of energy transmutation. That is why the church program don't want you to know anything about energy transmutation. They don't want you to learn how to transmute your energy into your reality. If you look back at the video I did just earlier, which is the last video before this, I was teaching you that you have to breathe life into your ideas. So when it says that God breathed breath, the breath of life into man, and man became a living soul, it's a parody. It's a parable. You have to understand it from a metaphysical level, from a common sense level. Common sense is a God sense. Some guy who think he wise try to make a comment on one of my video and say you don't need common sense. You need spiritual discernment. Not knowing he's saying the same thing. Because your spirit, you having a human experience. Once you have spiritual discernment, you say fuck the church. Because you know this is the only church. And you say the same thing to the preachers too. Okay? And you'll understand the funeral scam. Okay? As I said, I'll do another video and have a video I'll do on that. Okay, the funeral and the wedding. Okay, how they making their money and you. Okay? So my brother, my sisters, if I have to sum up everything that I'm saying to you, the medicine, okay, to end every form of poverty is self-love, self-acceptance. That is why our ancestors have always said, man, know thyself. You can't love yourself if you don't know yourself. You can't know how powerful you are if you do not know who you are. You cannot be powerful while looking to an outside entity or some outside power, because the power is within you. You can't save yourself if you're looking for outside savior, because the saving power is within you. Everything is within you. And those who enslave your ancestors, don't make them fool you to make you believe that they're not coming to educate you. No, they can't educate you. You already have the DNA, everything downloaded already inside of you. That is why, let me say this again, to those who have links to Africa and so on, and all of these Africans who are chasing a little AdSense money. Stop posting these white people talking about the goodness, the greatness of black people. Though is a game. Your weakness is entertainment, and they know that. That's why they give you Beyonce, Jay-Z, all of these kind of people, Kanye West, all of them. That is why these religious, superstitious people normally they used to speak against Beyonce and all of these people saying they're doing all kind of satanic rituals. But when they bring out those songs about Jesus, man, that's their road march. They're singing them. They're on the road with them. They have them playing in their vehicles. They're doing all of these things because why? They're under spell. They use music to put them under spell. Don't get caught up because the person look like you. Don't get checked. There's all been cheaters among us. And they will all be cheaters. They will all be the sellouts. As I said before, and I'll say it again. When a man saying he's trying to wake up melanated people, watch your wife. And when a woman saying she's talking on behalf of melanated people, watch your husband. Watch who she open up she leg to. And watch who he exchanging the energy with. I always talk about a horse and a donkey. When you breed a horse and a donkey, what you get? A mule. They created a bunch of religious mule. A bunch of religious monkeys. That is why I'm not going to hold back with melanated people who want to call on Jesus. I call you a monkey. Plain and straight. I call you an idiot. Plain and straight. I will tell you that you are mentally retarded. Plain and straight. I'm not playing no games. Melanated people like to be pampered. They like to be told nice things. No, I will tell you, you're a fucking idiot calling on Jesus and believe some man from the sky gonna come and save you someday. You're worshiping the white man and don't even know it. So when you watch thing like Pop the Balloon and you see Arlet little boy BM talking about he not ashamed for confess Jesus Christ, you know that's not a man. You know that's a puppet. And all those people reacting to them, if you check it out, who still reacting to them after they did what they did, you'll realize it is religious people who go into church. Don't watch them, boycott them shit. We have to stand up. We have to stand up. In Burkina Faso, Abraham Charari, he tried to take the gun. Okay, well, that might work for a time. But when you weaponize the people's mind to go against themselves, it's very hard to bring healing, because why? It is more easier to deceive a man than to convince him that he is deceived. That is why I'm not going easy with melanated people who want to be religious and superstitious and make a man like Gino Jennings push you wrong and turn you a fool while he's setting up churches all over the place. And these African preachers, like the one who have Winners Chapel, he have churches in my country too, and the people don't even know anything about this man in Africa. They're setting them up worldwide. These are people need to be stoned with shit. These places are spiritual shit houses that they call church. You have to be this radical as a melanated man. This is not the time of Martin Luther King. This is not the time of Malcolm X. This is the time when they're building AI for your ass. And this is the time you have to have radical men who are willing to stand and speak the truth. You're suffering from a mental disease. And for you to get rid of the mental disease, you have to realize this whole thing about Jesus is all fuckery. It's all foolishness. You have to turn your back on these preachers. Stop giving away your money to these preachers. And turn and support men with backbone. Men with balls. Men who are willing to put their life on the line for your freedom. These are the kind of men you have to stand with. Don't stand with cowards. Don't stand with men who have to have 3, 4, 5, 6 bodyguards following them around the place like a fucking idiot. And make they call you a celebrity. You know, celebrity. Because why? You have no power more than me or anyone else. It's the same one damn power. There's no such a thing as a celebrity or any icon. No may nobody fool you. It's all a program. Get your mind out of the matrix. So my brother, my sister, start cursing these preachers. Call them by name. Start cursing them. That's how we're going to get stronger. Yeah. Words are spells. They've been casting spells on you for years. Through their television programs. Through their preachings and the track. All the tracks they make and these books they write. You have to call the name. And then you have to channel your ancestors that stood for principle. I'm saying, channel your ancestors back at Tulsa, Oklahoma. They want to pass on some knowledge to you. They want you to be rich. Not just financially. They want you to be wholesomely rich. They want you to be rich in every way. So my brother and my sisters, this mental disease, it is because of lack of self-love. I say all of that to get you to love yourself. You can't love Jesus and love yourself. No, let nobody fool you. You can't believe in a devil and love yourself when you're the fucking devil. Your negative self is the devil. And I am free to express myself like this. And I feel good expressing myself like this. TDJX can't express himself like this because why? He creating an image. You have to carry a certain persona. But I don't want to be good. I want to be both good and evil at the same time. So I want you to see the two sides of me. because they are pretending that they're so nice and they're so holy, and they check the people while still keeping them in mental slavery. I could put my life on the line to teach that Christianity, secular Christianity, has been keeping black people in mental slavery, economic slavery, stupidity, monkey mentality. I could go on and on and on and on. And don't ever come and comment and tell him anything but the Most High. There's no such a thing as no fucking the Most High. There's no such a thing as the Most High. And there's no such a thing as the Almighty. Cut that bullshit. Rastafarians are with that bullshit. Because they're suffering from a disease called parrotism. They're just repeating what they hear other people say. Stop it. Don't ever come and talk about the Almighty. No. That's separation. When you speak like that. And the Most High. When you speak like that, that's separation. You're denoting separation. I am telling you, there's no separation. You're one. Man is God asleep. And God is man awake. And when you go and call a white man God, what are you doing? They call him Jesus. Oh, but Jesus coming soon. And Jesus save. I always say, go and take a trolley in the grocery. Fill it with all the groceries you can. And then push it up to the cashier and tell the cashier, Jesus pay the price. You see how stupid it would be. They go and call the security. And if you can't talk about Jesus pay the price and you don't want to go and get your money, they go and call the police. Because you're stupid. Which price Jesus pay? You have to pay the price in the supermarket. You have to pay the price for the electricity. In my country, the electricity company is run by a white family. And when I tell people so, they hate me for that. They vex with me. They think, hey, it's government. Government own fucking nothing. But your ass, giving them your energy every 4 years. They go around campaign and they ask you. And you think, oh, it's simple. Just mark an X. Dumb. They're out of employment. Every 4 to 5 years, they're out of employment. And they're seeking you for employment. And then you give them your power. Okay? So my brother and my sisters, you know what I mean? I've been a whole mouthful. I just want to read the comments here and interact with you. Okay? Because I want to make this live maybe an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours the most, because I could go on and I could go 3-4 hours. Okay? But I think I might do another live when I'm done here on another channel. Okay, so I really want, because I have some exposing to do. There's a lot of things I'll be doing. And I tell you, I'm going to be roughing a lot of fellas. Because when I start to expose Neville Goddard even more, over on the next channel, I'm telling you, man, I ruffle out a lot of fellas. I'll be mashing a lot of con. I'll be messing up a lot of people gravy train. Even people pretending to be stupid. Money. Peace and love, King. Peace and love to you. I was waiting on this, man. Today, I need a good word today. I know you get a good word, because I know that money means a lot to everybody around the world. And I know also that it is in your DNA to live in abundance and prosperity. Because if you look around and you look at nature, come on, man. You can't look at nature and uphold poverty. Come on. Something really wrong with these church people, these religious people that is controlled by the banks and the credit union, who have no concept that nature. If you want to talk about Bible and believe the Bible, look at nature. You need no other Bible. That's why what they do, they turn around and tell you, oh, they were pagans. They make you believe that your ancestors who knew the importance of the sun and who understood the inner sun science, which I'm teaching now. Okay? And that they were pagans. Yeah, well, okay. Well, I go be pagan if there's they make up words. Pagan, backsliders, all these things are words they make up to shame you. It's a shaming game. Fair, to keep in fair. What do you think all of these, I went into a credit union to drop something for someone that they order. Okay, and I went there to carry it for them. Okay. And I look around and I saw all of the different presidents and the time they serve and the mark brother and sister, and I turn around to people and I say, how is it all these presidents that was running this credit union, they name brother this and sister that? I said, this was they belong to some secret fraternity. She said, no. I said, nah, you can't check me, they belong to secret fraternity. All these people who normally be on boards, they belong to secret fraternity. They are the new horse slaves. Why the fuck you want to hide a secret from the rest of people? That's why I can't be part of no secret society. I'm not hiding nothing from society. There's more than enough in this world for everybody. Why should I hide something and die with my conscience? Hiding something? Why you going to hide? I have nothing to hide. I've always been this one. I would always be this way. Let's go, King. Thank you very much for calling me a king, because we are all kings and queens and gods and goddesses. That's who we are. I mean, nobody tell about up to now they can't bring the Epstein file with Prince Andrew, all of them involved. And these are the kind of people when they come down in these parties, they have the little children waving fucking flag and all kind of thing and welcoming what you name there? We're married to the girl whose parent whose mother is a black woman. What you name again? Baby, look, remember what kind to remember there? We're married to the Megan Markle and where your husband name again? And Harry. I have the little children like little puppets waving to Megan Markle and Prince Harry and them. That's what I tell you. That's the last thing they do. I tell you, they're looking for the perfect hybrid, you know. They're looking for the perfect hybrid. Whenever they find the perfect hybrid and they start to mix that, you know, I tell you, you think I'm going to win Olympics and this and that again? If you take things for joke. 100%. 90s babies, 100%, man. 100%. We have to be 100%. Do you have children, brother? Of course. I have my daughter here and the others. Okay. Thank you. My son name is Hanson, so I'm a handsome man. Okay. It takes an open mind to absorb facts. Of course, I've always been open-minded. That's why I have no friends, you know. No people can't like me. You could just don't feed me, and I tell you you're wrong if you're wrong. I can't be bartered, so I've always been like that. Okay, even when I was working at the post office, I used to stand up and talk for my rights. You know what I mean? And so on. And when they tried to shut me up and say they would fire me, I tell them, well, I'm already fired because I'm not gonna shut my mouth. At that time, I still used to believe in secular Christianity. That's the kind of passion I had. So now I have the truth. Who gonna stop me? The only thing, not even death could stop me. Because I already sealed my legacy, not even death. Like God's child. No. Stop. Change the name from God's child, my brother in Kenya. The reason why I start telling you change that denotes separation too, because hey, the people who normally say they're children of God, they never could confess that they are God. But the child of a goat will grow to become what? An adult goat. The child of a sheep gonna grow up to become what? An adult sheep. So you might say for the goat, you might say it's a kid. Okay, for the sheep, you might say it's a lamb, but you're gonna grow into adult. Okay, a cattle. You might say it's a little calf, but you're gonna go into what? A big, strong cow. Okay, so how you could be a child of God, but you're not God? Okay. A better name would be God, man. You're God first and man after. And when I say God, I'm just talking about the invisible intelligence. I ain't talking about the man in the sky. I'm talking about the spark that is in you. And when I talk about the spark that is in you, I ain't talking from intellect. I'm talking from my experience. Because that spark ignited inside of me. And that's when I give birth to a baby and understand the virgin birth. They tell you about some woman 1,000 years ago open she leg and give birth to some son, some supernatural son who could walk on water and turn water into wine, and he was white with blonde hair and blue. You have to be damn stupid to believe such a thing as that. You have to be. But once you have that kind of belief, I call you a monkey. I don't care the color of skin, I call you a monkey. A monkey is a monkey. Wait, I'm unorganized mind. That's what monkey mean, okay? Babies from Trinidad, greetings. Nice to have you here. I've been Trinidad numerous amount of time, and I've been always watching and wondering why melanated people are the one at the bottom in Trinidad, and the Indian people, the Chinese people, and the European people, they're up there, right up there. I remember I was in Gulf City Mall, and it was Olympics time. And I see everybody around in the mall in Trinidad was excited and so on. So the person I was with there, I asked them, I said, what's happening there? He say, Trinidad have a swimmer, gonna swim. His name is George Bovell. But George Bovell the third. I said, George Bovell? I looking on the television for a black man. I was looking for I said, fucking George Bovell. I'm seeing it's just strictly white people. So when you race half now and they swam and thing, the whole shopping mall went into an uproar. So I asked the brother next to me, I said, what happened there? He said, George Bovell came third. He got the bronze in the Olympics. I said, which one? I said, which one of them is George Bovell? On the point, a white man. Because you have white Trinidadians too. Okay, and I know you can attest to that. So, my brother, my sisters, our people definitely need to wake up. And in Trinidad, you go, most of our people, they're very much religious. And they think the Indians worshiping idol when the idol look like the Indians themselves. Go to have someone from Wisconsin, mini cash, okay? Make that cash not just mini, make it big cash. The magic in thinking big. Okay, go big, okay? And break every cause of poverty. So it's great to have people all the way from Wisconsin. And that person from Wisconsin, let me say to you, if you're a melanated person, never forget Tulsa, Oklahoma, okay? Never forget what they did to us. We can't forget. They don't forget, you know. That's why they have Haiti the way they want to have Haiti and Jamaica too. Because those people don't forget. Only our people want to forget. Oh, you have to forgive. Oh, because Jesus said this and Jesus said that. Get your idiotic ass out of my face. Talk about Jesus said this and Jesus said that. Up to now, the same God they tell you, up to now, you can't forgive his enemy, the devil. And you buy that shit. Up to now, he can't forgive his enemy, the devil. But you must forgive those who do you thing. And you know what they're doing now? They're turning the card around and say, oh, don't play the victim. Stop playing victim yet. No, I ain't playing no victim. I'm talking the truth. Yeah, so you're from Wisconsin and Native American, of course. And the Native have always been black people. Now I become more of a bigger man and a more realized man. I look back at my boyhood days. I used to watch Costa, Yellow Hair Costa. He used to shoot down all the Indian. Costa and crazy ass, no one know better. They always been portraying themselves as the hero. When the white man is the rascal. And the native Indian is actually the hero. So we as little boys, we used to watch Costa. If you're old like me, you know what I'm talking about. Costa and crazy ass. Okay. Tabisa, Ifia from Belize. Nice having someone from Belize in the house. Okay, these are people who are vibrating high. If you vibrate to this frequency and find me, I know you're onto something. Okay, go to our people from Belize. Okay, and people from Belize is connected to people here. Okay, in certain ways, but they try to tell you about the Karen. I'm trying to remember the name. It's Carinago and so on, right? Because they try to push an agenda that the native people of these islands wasn't black people, but that's another story for another time, okay? But we have strong link with Belize and so on, and those other Central American islands too, okay? Yes, belief system show in life. Yeah, of course, everything that happening to our people is because of their belief system. All the banks that own the people is because of the belief system. This stupid belief system about someone coming to save you from the sky. That is what keeping our people in poverty. Okay? And keeping them in mental disease. Why doesn't Jamaica have air conditioners? Who said Jamaica don't have air conditioners? I don't think so. I think Jamaica have air conditioners, yeah? People all over the world have air conditioning all over the place. Okay? Maybe this person never travel. Maybe this person must be the kind of person who believe the things they say to Africa. They never show you all the rich places in Africa. They always show you just the poverty alone. This has always been the agenda of the West. Hi. 100% real fire here, man. I never look at that scripture that way. That's to hearing it a different way. Yeah. You're the one who must breathe life into whatsoever you design this world and will become a living reality. So you talk about a man became a living soul. And you think it's some entity outside that you breathe breath of life. No, you carrying the breath of life with you. Okay? When you're having sex and you breathe, why you think you'll be breathing anyway or you just be breathing? That's why I have the breathing technique, the sexual breathing technique, but you have to go to my university to get it. Because making those songs and so on YouTube, they would ban it. Okay? So you go there privately and you get it private, okay? And I make it very much affordable for you. Okay, all of the links down below. I make it quite affordable for you. And you can get this song. And let me tell you this, and I have to do some videos along that line to really sensitize people more. When you start to do that breathing technique, you know, those sexual breathing technique, your whole body will be shaking. Your whole body will be vibrating. Sometimes you end up crying. Yeah. You could end up crying. You could end up laughing. Yeah. You will get the emotions for yourself. And let me tell you what I normally do. Okay, I was going to do another video, but I will mention it here first, but I'll do another video. And you can do the Wim Hof breathing first, just to calm me down. That is soft breathing. That is Iceman breathing. Then you're going to the Sunman breathing. I'm going to do a video on the Sunman and the Iceman, okay? And then you start to see what will happen. And start to send that out. Okay, your intention. Of course, it's the most powerful energy that brings us here. Which other energy could be more powerful than that? And you know they're against Wim Hof breathing, right? Try to say, oh, people that, you know, there's so much idiotic people in the world. People want to go in water to do Wim Hof breathing. So they must end up dying. So they do all kind of thing now to give him a bad name now. You understand? So doctors and all these people could come out now and sit in. OMG black guy. Must cut and clear away the past. There's no past, bro. To find the new way. Shut the fuck up talking shit. Look, there's no past. There is no past. There's only present. I want you to say yesterday and yesterday for me. Say yesterday and yesterday. I want you to say tomorrow and tomorrow. You could only say yesterday in the now. You could only say tomorrow in the now. You could only say past in the now. You could only say future in the now. Don't talk shit here. No matter they fool you. That's why they give you a historical freaking Jesus. And they give you a bunch of historical things. Having you freaking looking backwards. So you're living a life like this. You're always looking backward. And not seeing what was right in front of you. Someone say hard truth. Of course, it's hard truth. I believe in tough love. It always worked for me. Okay, it's not going to work for everybody. It's always been like that for me. I've been all straight up. There was a time I went and rebuked myself. Okay, because I dealt with somebody with tough love and that intelligence within me dealt with me. And it told me that open rebuke is more great and powerful than secret love. Open rebuke is more powerful than secret love. So everybody have to know what works for them. Okay? Someone say end times are here. That's another foolish thing people normally speak. From the time you come out of your mother womb. You hear me? From the very day you came out of your mother womb, you've been having a countdown. You've been having a countdown. So when you say war coming to an end, and end times, okay, that is you coming to understand that every day, okay, you are coming closer and closer to your expiry date. So even the name, you don't want to carry a name like that. So don't let anyone fool you and tell you about end time and world gonna come to an end. It's your world that is gonna come to an end. That is why you have to make use of your world and don't let it be a wall of lack and scarcity and poverty and you be a debt slave to the bank and the credit union. Okay? The banks and credit union will always be here. I am not trying to stop that system. I'm speaking to you. So I always say someone have to clean the drains, but it don't have to be you. Someone have to sweep the street, but it doesn't have to be you. Okay? So I don't want anyone to go to any extreme and thinking that I'm saying, oh, you shouldn't have a job or anything like that. No, you work to learn, not to earn. Okay? So if you're working and you're working to earn, you start to work now to learn. And when you learn enough, then you know what to do. Just like what I did. You should meditate then. Yes, you're supposed to meditate, but you're not going to meditate and just sit on your ass. After you meditate, you have to be very much aware that idea is going to come to you. And when the inspiration comes upon you, you can't procrastinate. Sometimes people meditate, they visualize, they do all of these things, and the ideas will come to them and they try to reason with the idea. And they fail to realize also that the idea sometimes and the inspiration, sometimes they just last for 5 seconds. So if within 5 seconds you can grab a pen and a piece of paper and write down the thing and keep the thing in inside of you and start to work on it, well then everything's gonna happen. Yeah, you could get a skill, you could get a trade also if that basically is, your purpose. Everybody have a purpose here. Okay, but I'm telling you, when you're in your purpose, it's going to open up doors for you, many, many doors for you. Because you will be in alignment. So you might practice a trade, okay, and then you, like for example, there's a man in my country. He used to be like a builder, building beds, chairs, and so on, and now he has a whole department store, bed, fridge, everything that is for home. He have that. So he moved from one stage, then he reached another stage. Many cash people expect to get good jobs once they leave college. And most time it doesn't happen. Yeah, because you see, when you go college and you go school, it's to really discover what is a gift. But they don't teach you that it is to discover what is a gift. So your parents don't be absorbent enough because they think you're supposed to go and get good grades. You see, Usain Bolt find his purpose. That's why he opened up so much doors for him. Shelley and Fraser Price and all of these other people, they went to school. It wasn't the education that that enabled them to be making the kind of money they're making. Okay, Ronaldo and Messi and these people who play soccer and making so much of millions. They find their purpose. It open up doors for them. So school is not really to really go and get good grades. It's not about that. Because if a person can get a child, okay, that doesn't do good in school, and they was to have a conversation with me, and I asked them certain questions, and they give me a whole history about the child, I'll be able to put them on the right path for the child. As a matter of fact, I remember one time a woman booked a one-on-one with me, a woman, an African lady, okay, but she lives in the States, I think, right? And she was telling me about her son who wasn't doing good in school. And I told her exactly what to do. Okay, and maybe a year or so, maybe a year or two after, she reached out back to me. And she told me it was when she was sweeping her house. She find that piece of paper that she would have written the affirmation and everything that she was using and so on, right? For her son and so on. And she told me that is when she remember. Because I told her you have to learn to plant the seed and forget about it and so on, okay? And that was when she remembered. She reached out to me and told me the child would have turned to a grade A student. And she did totally forget. Just like when I manifest my business, my e-commerce business, it took me a year till I realized, oh shit, I manifest this. Okay? So my brother and my sisters, I could walk with people who have children who go into school and so on, not doing well and so on. And once I question you a lot and so on, and I get to know things about the child, I can show you what it's all about. I remember someone saying she was healed of her sickness through Jesus Science Church, and God really scared us. Let me see. sacred, but now you are speaking. I understand. LOL. Okay, good. Yeah. Because you see, if you so much believe in that white idol, because of your feeling, because of your emotion, because you are naturally a magician, because of the conscious and the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between lie and truth, good and evil. And I can show you that in the Bible. Okay? I can show you all of these things I'm talking about. Because it doesn't know that, you're going to get results. That's why these fake healers and preachers, Benny Hinn, you name it, all of these African clowns that have any people like fools, that's why some people get some result. And because they're thinking small, the little bit they get, they're killing their whole potential that they could get more and even get bigger than these preachers without telling the lies that these preachers are telling and using dark science on them, because that's when you're using it in a dark way. As I said before in a previous video, they're dark magicians because they're keeping the people in the darkness instead of the light. You shouldn't be hiding things from no one, because we are one. My hand, my foot, my eye, my nose, all of these things are different parts, but it's one me. Why was she afraid? Alhamdulillah for Islam. As a matter of fact, someone commented with Islam. Islam and Christianity is no different. Okay, and both of them have their secret teaching. Okay. Because Islam is I, self, Lord and Master. But when you get tied to the religion and so on, you be controlled. You think the supreme leader in Iran ain't know the truth? And I like to hear him speak. And when he speak, he always telling them about the Imam. The Imam is a self-realized one he talking about. And that's why both Israel and Iran and them, they know what they're doing. Okay. And I don't even want to go into the Sahara slavery and the Atlantic. I don't even want to go into that. And these two religions have black people enslaved. All the insurgency and all of these things, the people going to extremes. Someone here maybe let me see the JD officiating. You say Jesus Christ is king. Depends on who you're talking about as Jesus Christ, because I know my imagination is king. Okay. I know my consciousness is king. I know my awareness is king. Okay. So those of you who know I have a Bible where Jesus has been removed, I remove the idol and I leave a blank space for you to write your name. Your name is I am. So when you put I am there, that's when you're taking back your power. And all the things that you are forming to Jesus, you are forming to you. Because it's about you. So if this person who made this comment really mean what they say, you have to let the idiot be an idiot, because we need them. Okay? Because we need to have a society with religious people too, you know. We need religion in society because there's a bunch of idiots. And you have to have something to control them and keep them a certain way. So you have to understand me. So if that working for you, fine. What's cooking? Hi to you. Everything okay. If this person want to be a troll, I'm not gonna give him much attention. Don't preach until you make a ton of take a ton of psychedelics. I don't need to take psychedelics, but I have nothing against psychedelics. Okay, for those who can't transcend as fast as us, because melanated people can't transcend the fastest. Okay, that is why they make sure they do everything to keep us in economic slavery. Okay, so let's say you just come on the live here. Okay, I would definitely encourage you to go back and listen from the beginning and so on when I finish, where I've been giving you the keys, okay, to get rid of the disease of poverty, okay, because it's a mental disease, Okay, so right now I just comment. I'm reading and interacting with the people and the live. Okay, so psychedelics is for those people who can't transcend as fast. Okay, but we do transcend very fast. And where the mind came from. Okay, your true essence is invisible. You can't see the mind. So what we say the mind, you're just talking about the intelligence that it works by frequency. Everything is based on energy, vibration, and frequency. We are actually a mass of energy. Okay, and we vibrate on frequency. Okay, so basically, when you say the mind, you're not talking about a physical, tangible, something, of the physical. Okay. Yeah, hit the button and subscribe, everyone. Because over 60% of the people normally view my videos, they don't subscribe, and I definitely need you to subscribe. When I look at the analytics, it says that okay, it's only about 40% of the people who view my work, they subscribe. So I'll definitely encourage you to subscribe. Where I'm from the Caribbean. Okay, I live in the Caribbean. I live in the island of SVG. They call it St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but the real name is Haruna. Okay, Haruna is the real name. They change the name, they colonize it and give it a name. I have a book that I wrote, but I haven't published it as yet, called St. Vincent Curse and Haruna Blessed. Haruna, mainland of the blessed. Okay. I thought it's a satanic church when she said Jesus Science Church. Now this church, the Science Church, I think is Christian Science. Maybe the person is talking about. Okay, what happened? They put all different kind of brand of the same brainwash out there. Okay, so it all seems like these people bring light to you, but they're not bringing no light to you. Okay, they are liars. Okay, and they will always be liars because there must be polarity. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. And because if you check the pale man, everywhere he went, he kill, he steal, he lie, he destroy. You can't hate him for that. That is in nature. But you have to understand your nature. Okay? That's just his nature. King, you should get some moderators. Thank you for the suggestion. I like to meditate while I medicate. Okay. You see, meditation is the medication. Meditation is the medication you need to end every form of poverty. But of course, you will have to cleanse yourself first. Okay, you need purification before meditation. That's why I was saying that you have to be willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind. You have to get rid of all of this, oh Jesus and Mary fuckery, and this all of these Bible stories I will interpret to you as literal and secular history. You have to get rid of that. Okay, as I see this truly, JD officiating. Come on, man, you looking for a back and forth? Nobody entertain you. Give you energy. Yeah, with your Jesus bullshit. You're just another monkey, bro. Talking about Jesus. Just another monkey. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Medication. Okay. Medication is meditation, and meditation is your real medication. Okay. That's the medicine you need to end all form of poverty. That's why I have the book called Meditate to Eradicate Poverty. While on the other hand, in my country, the politicians tell the people to educate, go to school and get good grades. It's a brainwash. Okay. Be sure to like and comment and help me take this channel to 25,000K. Okay, when we get there, then we go to the next level. Can you medicate life? Okay. I can do that, but you see, if a person having a one-on-one with me with meditation, I could direct them, more easily, more undisturbed and so on. I have to hold this thing in my hand while I'm speaking and all of that, okay, and so on. You see, so sometimes there's some things that is better to be done in a more private setting and so on. Okay, that's why I give you the sexual breathing in a more private setting And I do it in a way that you might just need to get your headphone, put in your headphone, and you use it in a private space at home and so on. And I guarantee you that you're gonna manifest a lot of things in your life. I need breathing techniques. Well, that's the same thing. I have the breathing techniques on my university. Okay, the links are down below. Okay, for Thinkers and Seekers Universities. I'm a patron down there. Okay, just this morning I uploaded them. Okay, and the price is very much affordable. Okay, yes, because if I be honest with you, I cannot upload that on YouTube. Okay, they will ban me if I put that. Okay. Greetings, what he is talking about is way older than that YouTube. No, that is older than that. Your Bible. Yes, what I'm speaking about is far much older than the Bible. Okay. The Bible is something that was put together. Okay. When I speak about this inner sun science and technology, that was from ever. When I speak about the breathing technique, the most ancient breathing technique, that was even before Bible. Okay. That's why it's the most powerful. It's more powerful than Wim Hof breathing. That's why Wim Hof is the ice man. I did a video called Ice People and Sun People. I did a video like that. Some people and ice people, and it's definitely true. Okay. They don't want you to know what is behind the ice, and they don't want you to know what is behind the sun too. Okay. They give you heart and brain coherence. I give you the solar plexus and brain coherence. Okay. Why you think when a person's heart shut down, they have this electrical thing that they rub together and they could shock it back? What it is, light is light. Solar plexus, man. They know why I discover the solar plexus, so they tell you about heart chakra and this and that. The solar plexus is just kickstart the heart. Yeah, it's something like a clock. Can you say hi? Wait, okay. Your mission is not going to work. Unfortunately, I don't know who he's speaking about. This person is just a troll though. But I understand it. I guess he's not speaking to me. You can't speak to me for sure. Can't be me he's speaking to for sure. Come and talking about Jesus. Me and you wouldn't have the same conversation because to your face I call you a monkey. Okay? To your face. You understand? To your face. When I say to your face, I'm not talking about on the internet. I made you pause and tell you that to your face. I'm free from the illusion. Now I remember who I am. Yes. That's a real man speaking there. Because when you're talking about Jesus, a man coming soon and so on, you're still in the illusion. You're still chopping the Maya. You understand? You're still in your monkey mind. You're still in the reptilian brain. You're still in the animal level. You're not a man. You have no balls. So a boy can't come talking to a man. So this person talking about Jesus, some Dylan or something like that. Maybe some security chasing. Maybe some security chasing. Because a lot of men who go to church is some woman security, who tell them but they have to love the Lord. I gave up church, religion, Christianity 3 years ago. Okay? Yeah. Don't just give up alone. You have to free yourself completely and learn to understand the Bible the right way. Then you're going to be totally free. Because you understand reverse psychology. Because once you understand the book of mind science and everything, you get it. You get what it's all about. And why it was so powerful in keeping you in chains. Okay? Because when that happens, you'll be able to help other people. Because you can't go and disagree with a Christian. I'll never disagree with a Christian. I don't do that. I don't argue with Christian, don't disagree with them. Just take what they say to you and make more sense of it for them. I think preachers with jets and mansions while their congregation is poor is crazy. That part's crazy, and not just those with jets alone. All the preachers who preaching shit to the people. Because some might not get jet, but they want to get the jet. Okay? but they do not have certain knowledge like those who have the jet have, because some of those that have the jets and so on, they have some knowledge about what I'm talking about here. There's some esoteric knowledge and so on, but they're not going to enlighten the people. Okay, remember, for example, right, if I start saying the things that I'm saying and I just add Jesus to it and Lord and God to it, I can have a mega church, but I'm not going to do that. Have you considered it too? Even in the Caribbean, this knowledge needs to be shared with millions. Yes, it needs to be shared with millions. And I normally cross a bridge when I reach there. Okay, whenever I reach that bridge, I'll definitely cross that. Okay, and you have to be a part of sharing it too. Okay, that's why I've been saying more people need to subscribe to the channel and share it. Okay, like a CJ bro, GT, San Andreas. Why? I think San Andreas is what, volcano erupted. Very cute. That's a good idea. Okay. Yes, down to the line of Kunta Kinte. You see those movies where like Kunta Kinte and all those, I don't like to look at those kind of things, because those melanated actors who take those roles to play those roles, they got paid to play those roles and so on. And no one is gonna pay me to be a monkey and to act like a monkey. That's why I don't believe in reparation. Nobody could slave you, rape you, breaking and all kind of thing. Show you to alligator, cut down woman belly that was pregnant and so on, and get the name Cracker and all of that, and then you're gonna pay me some money that you're making your life less valuable when you do that. So that's why I don't believe in reparation. Okay, I believe in you finding out for yourself that you are powerful, that you are money, that you are a spirit having a human experience. I want you to know that you are the all. I want you to know that poverty is a mental disease, is a sickness. And I want you to know that the churches, they're spiritual shit houses. They're keeping you in shit. And the preachers are speaking a bunch of shit. So you're going into a stink house, so you smell stink, you think stink, you talk stink, and you live stink. That's why they're so judgmental. My ancestors fought against all European colonizers, high from Croatia. Well, if your ancestors did that, well, congrats to them, because I'm still here doing that against all colonizers and the colonizing indoctrination. Okay, and it's just for those who are open-minded and willing to listen. That's why I said, okay, that poverty is a mental disease. And the only slavery they have is basically economic slavery, because they have to enslave you spiritually and psychologically to basically enslave you economically. Just look at the agenda in 2020 to 2022 and you'll see that it was attacking what? Your economics. But when you understand your money and you walk around with a currency and you know your ability and your creativity, and you operate in your creativity and your ability, you find your gift on this planet, they can't stop you. No, the preachers with the jets aren't crazy. The poor congregation is. Well, the preacher with the jet and the congregation is a reflection of the pastor or the preacher. So if they're foolish, it means there is a fool leading other fools. The blind leading the blind. Of course, truth is free. That's why truth is freedom. And that's what they don't want you to have. Someone asks, why aren't you white? Because I've never been white. God express, or the infinite intelligence express itself in a body that is closest to the sun. In a body that that can be so close to nature that it can call a tsunami. It can call a street a heat stroke around the world. It could send a tornado, a hurricane, all of that. We have that kind of power, but they make you go against your power. The people used to practice voodoo, who used to do all of these things. They give them Christianity and they turn around, they call their own science evil. Okay? So that's why I'm not white. I'm not pale. Okay? I'm not a snowman. I'm a sun man. Okay? So you have to have balance. You have to have the sun, okay? And you have to have the moon. You have to have the snowman. You have to have the sun man. You have to have Wim Hof doing his breathing, and you have to have me doing my breathing. You have the Iceman, you have the sun man. Okay, so I don't want to be white. And if you're white, you shouldn't want to be black. Okay? But a bunch of white women want to be black. So they get in false ass, false lips. They do all of these things. And then a lot of black women want to be white, so they bleach their skin. Peace and blessing to you, teacher. Peace and blessing to you. Okay? We are all here to learn. Okay? And when we find that the true teacher is our intuition, who wants to lead us and guide us, and nature is there also as the proof, then we wouldn't be looking at the outside, we all be looking within. This asshole is saying everybody should try to be white. There's not have to be an asshole speaking. Someone said something about Mama. I feel sorry for the... Yeah. No, yeah. Can't feel sorry for the body guy. You want to kill yourself. Take a bullet for president. Yes, the hell with them and the hybrid that are lies. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they have a hybrid agenda. You need to know that. Okay? Because if the hybrid agenda works, okay, you're going to create someone that is very, 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 very powerful in every aspect. In the athletic aspect, in the sporting aspect, in the music industry, in every aspect, okay? That's why, you know, when I see black men, you know, with white women, it hurt my feeling. Because I know they're stupid, they lack something. And when I see black women with white men, it hurt my feelings because I know she lacks something too. Okay, I sorry for people like Venus Williams and them, Candice Owens and them. I sorry for them. I literally sorry for them. Sheep don't mate with goat. Though they're all one animal, they don't mate. I ran from them, not by choice. They have tried to destroy me ever since. They are hacked in my phone. I'm getting far away from them and never looking back. I don't know what's that about. Krishna. All this person here about Krishna Hari and so on. Those are Indian people, and the Indian believe in gods that look like them. The only people that doesn't believe in God that look like them is black people. They believe in a white man to be their God, a white savior. Okay, they are real slick. Yeah, these Caucasian people are very slick. You have to be so wise. Someone say your heart is good. Yeah, I've always have a good heart because I've always loved people and want to share with people. That's why I can't belong to no secret society. I ain't holding no secret from society. Okay? And I had an experience when I was in the dream world and I met someone who was in a secret society here, and though they already passed and they're still holding the secret, I had an innate ability to know that they was in a secret society back here. So I know when you move on, you're moving on still with that. You're chopped. Mash the Khan King. He that have an ear, let them hear facts. Okay? Yeah, man. You have to tell the truth. There is no remedy. It is what it is. Boy, this Dylan needs some serious help. We talking Jesus now, he come and say there's no remedy. When they tell you Jesus is the remedy, Come on. Why the asses go on your knee and pray? What the teacher to do? Not to go on your knee and pray and beg and beseech God outside yourself. Isn't that a remedy you're looking for? Forgive and forget, turn the other cheek. The hell I will. Okay? Well, if you want somebody to slap you, do you all man of evil, and yes, you're going to just turn the cheek. Well, good for you. But I know I'll never forget what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma with Black Wall Street, with the bomb Black Wall Street. It was I wasn't there in flesh, but I've been there in spirit of my ancestors. It's all taught from our parents, including you. Man, this Jesse Dillon person really looking for some attention and so on, okay? He up to some shit or the other. I'm going to be a truth follower by believing in the one who tells me the truth for free, not come with price tag. Okay? Telling you the truth. I'm not gonna scare you and tell you have to pay tithes and offering, or some God or some law or some man in sky can punish you because you don't pay. I tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. My master is God, but I am not a slave. How could your master be God, but you're not a slave? You can't have a master without a slave. It's either you the master, okay, or you're the slave. Because this is the master, and everything else on here is the slave. The mind control the body. So when you give them your mind, they keep you at the level of the animal. Everything you have down here, the animal have. But the animal don't have speech and mind, which is what? The intelligence to reason, the intelligence to articulate. You be you, I be me. I am free. I am free. Mankind. Where are you from? I answered that already. Okay, where I'm from. I'm living in the Caribbean. Yes, the masculine and feminine live in us all, of course. You have the conscious and the subconscious mind. Okay, so they don't want you to know the power of the conscious and subconscious mind to use energy transmutation. So they have an agenda to keep it in poverty. So poverty is a disease of the mind. And so it is caused based on your belief system. Your belief system is what is keeping you poor. We have choice to believe in truth or submit to a lie. Which one will you be, regardless of price? Okay? And the truth can only be known by you, because the truth can only be found in you. The truth can be found in another. In you. You have to find the truth in you. Nowhere else. God says we are no longer called slaves, but friends, co-heirs. You see, when people make quote like this, they're separating themselves from God. God say. No, you say. Because it's you. It's not some entity on the outside. And that is what I'm trying to get people to break the poverty. Because once you start to speak a language that is claiming separation with you and the infinite intelligence, the all-knowing, all-powerful intelligence that can give you anything in this world. Once you start to do that, that's when you're giving your power away. They train you to give your power away and to speak a certain way. That's why I don't use words like the Most High. I don't use words like the Almighty. No. That denotes separation, and I'm not separated. Thank you for saying this. I saw black angels in my dream, and I'm like, no, angels are white. All of the encounters I've ever had with meeting people in the dream world, where my whole spirituality journey is about, and my whole mystical journey, They've all been people that look less like me. Okay? When the man walk out of the fire that burns but doesn't consume, out of that burning bush, and spoke to me when I was at the age of 30. Okay? I was a melanated man just like me, in African clothing. He had on a dashiki. Okay? And the being that touched me right here, okay, when I saw the being face to face, with a mark right across, say something like the African singer seal, yeah, kind of mark, like a tribal mark, like someone from a different galaxy. Bring a certain intelligence to me and touch me here. It's one that look just like me. Okay? Walking truth of who you are, not what the lies tell you. You are son of God's truth. I'm no son. I'm no S-O-N. The only son of God I know is the S-U-N of God. No other son. That again is separation. Okay, you're God. You can either be God asleep or God awake. Once a God asleep, you're man. God, and when man awake, that's God. I can't deny that, and I would never deny it. Never deny yourself, okay? Most people just deny themselves and don't even realize that they're denying themselves, okay? You are the original mankind created by God with an individual purpose. You are not nothing. You see, when, as I tell you, this Djokovic person here, okay, they're speaking language that might sound good, but it denotes separation all the time. It making you believe that there's some entity outside. I tell you, these people always never could speak. Okay, clearly they always have some little trick in between. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or what. He just doesn't know better. Okay, there's no separation. I am one with every living thing. I am the intelligence. There's no God outside of my consciousness. There's no God outside of my awareness. Okay, that is why I was able to cure the poverty mentality that was passed down upon me. Okay. This person, Catholic Canadian, says Christ is king. I wonder if you know that Christ is your consciousness, your awareness of being. Christ's consciousness is king. That's why self-knowledge is power. So when you know who you are, you live as a king, you walk as a king, you speak like a king, you live like a king. You understand? So, as I said earlier, Kanye West got paid to sing bullshit and to speak bullshit. Okay, and he didn't write that song. They wrote it for him and they pay him. It was a contract. Both he and Beyonce, they sell out. They sell out their own people. Serious without knowledge, you will just die without receiving what God has for you. Yeah, you see, knowledge is power by self-knowledge. And when you say what God has for you again, okay, let me reiterate. There's no God outside of self. It means that you will miss yourself because they have you hiding from yourself. People who blame a devil hiding from themselves. It's poverty. People don't understand what poverty is. You know? Poverty is based on your belief system. All poverty. It doesn't matter your skin complexion. All poverty all around the world is based on your belief system. It's based on your awareness and your consciousness. It's something that lies within your consciousness, and it's a sickness. It is a disease, and there's a cure. That's why I say meditation is the cure. But you can't practice meditation without purification. You have to purify yourself. That's why you have to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind. No magic, no tricks for you, only truth you know and recognize. When I speak about magic, I don't ever speak about those magicians that do tricks. That's one thing they don't want you to know, that you're a true magician. Okay? This Djokovic person, I hope you getting what I'm saying. Okay? Rasta boom boom. women. Someone said, don't worry, everything will be all right, Rasta. I'm not a Rastafarian. People normally call me Rastu, but I would answer. I'm not a Rastafarian. I respect the title of Ras because I know what that is about. Okay, and I respect the man who was called Tafari and was given the title of Ras. And I know he was a rich man, a very rich man. Okay, so if your life doesn't reflect that, then I don't know which other Ras you're talking about. And what other Tafari you're talking about either. This man was an emperor. You're a good truth teller. Thank you, man. You're welcome. Get up, stand up, reach up for the fight. It was not Norman. It was Michael. Okay, thanks for the correction. Michael Manley and Siaga, yeah. And Elliot Siaga, okay. Okay, yeah. So man, but I know it was a man, was Manley and Siaga for sure. Thanks for the correction. Okay. And those was two white men. But it started all the way from historical times. That and those kind of histories not written, eh? Jamaicans don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the Siaga and Manley thing, and I'm talking about the fight in the Blue Mountain that they never tell you about. That is not in the history books. Yes, you are telling the truth. Yeah, Shannon Sharp. Okay, accuser quit OnlyFans one day after the 50 million settlement. Of course. You see, because as I was saying, okay, that poverty is of the mind. And though Shannon Sharp had all of that money, he still have a poverty mentality because he was still lusting and going after the pale woman because it may have been a fantasy of his for a very long time. Okay? So he had the money, but he needed a cleansing. He needed purification. Okay? You see, because these men as athletes, okay, most of their life they spend their life as athletes, and basically they were hired. They're actually basically like hired slaves, you know. Okay, in NFL and so on and all of that. Okay, and so they live their life and so on, and then that women train themselves at them and so on. So basically, the way they know how to get women is to basically lead with money. Okay, all of that is part of being still being in poverty. You still kind of wrong the disease. Okay, no true freedom. So money and money and certain opportunities being given to you doesn't mean that you're free. Privilege is the word I was looking for, because there are many white people who've been given privilege, but they're poor, real poor. Okay, that is why they remain racist, because they're poor, very, 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 very poor. Do you get skid marks in your undies? No, I don't get those kind of marks. I take very good care of my skin. Okay. Yes, it is. You gonna know if you don't. This person say, "Watch your mouth." I don't know who they're talking about. Who they talking to? Couldn't be me. Someone asks, if I eat animals. Yeah, I eat animals. As a matter of fact, I grew up eating wild animals. Okay. I eat fish. I eat all of these things. Okay. Sorry, Jesus Christ is the Lord, Savior, and Judge, and yes, We have to do our part, and it's not for sale, and I am not selling truth, but give it freely to all mankind. Testify not others are robots. Djokovic, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, but Jesus. You kind of people, you kind of pale people who do everything to keep that agenda, okay? And black folks. I answered the question already. What I eat from what I don't eat, okay? You see, I'm a very, very, very led person. There are times I could go strictly vegan. There are times I could go strictly fruitarian. I don't eat no one special way. I keep change of things all the time. Okay? I'm very intuitive. Okay, my intuition tell me, go a month. Okay, eating a certain way, that's what I would do. I remember one time I went fruitarian and I lost so much weight. You understand? I was real muscular. Just strictly muscle, hardly any fat at all on my body. Because I went fruitarian. The times already I went strictly vegan. Okay, so I'm just intuitive with how I eat. Okay, I always stick, in a balanced way. But I can definitely tell you, when you eat more plant-based, you become more electrical and magnetic. There are times I become so electrical, if I just try to turn on the light, I'm getting shocked. If I touch the computer, I'm getting shocked. You know what I mean? So I just keep things kind of balanced, okay? God bless you, brother, and go with truth in you alone. God help you and me, love brother. Stop talking this God shit to me, man. Go with your bullshit, okay? You pale people are always wolf in sheep clothing. Tell me about fucking you're just talking about God with this God agenda separation shit, okay? Just keep asking about each animal. Someone say props to the black men who love black women. I think every black person in this world should love just the black women alone. Let white go with whites. Let all the other races go with their race alone. You stick with your race. Okay. Hybridization is not a part of nature. Look at nature. Sheep don't go with goat. Okay. And when they cross a donkey and a horse, they get hybrid. Okay. Let me just read on these comments before I close. Okay. What kind of black woman a real black woman? A real black woman is who understand the power she has within herself and the power of the black man, and who would never ever date outside of our race. And the reason why I'm not gonna go more into this, because I'm gonna do a video concerning diary of a wise black woman. Because if you want to know a real black woman, all you have to do is look at those who are real. Look at Candace Owens and them, and Serena Williams and them, you know. Them the real black woman. Do you know about Tartaria? Someone say you got me thinking, they call them bunker. Yeah. Those bunkers are the things that they build underground to escape. Okay. Rise up and be free. For my brother. Cayman Park, get rich. Big up to the Leos in the house. Happy Leo season. Speak more on transmutation. Yeah. I'll do some more videos on transmutation and so on, okay? What are you talking about? Fairy tales. Oh, fairy tales. I like when these people come on, these shows. You see these pale people? What are you talking about? And then you say, oh, fairy tales. Okay. It's definitely fairy tales. Okay, because we're magicians. So it's definitely fairy tales I'm speaking. Okay. I know for sure, as long as we live on this planet, Because the pale man weakness is his pride. I know. Their pride is what would bring their fall. I know it. Okay? It's just a matter of time. Because there comes a time when the privilege that was given to them would stop and they won't get that privilege. And then they will understand what it means to know who you are and know the truth about your ancestors. Okay? We must get back our spirituality, of course. You are so right. I was going to church for 27 years and I quit, but I think it's quit, you can put it, quit it, taking my energy. Okay? Yeah, church is just there to drain your energy. These people who set up the church system, they're vampires. Okay, the fake Israel is the biggest vampires of all. They set up their evangelical agenda for you to send your energy to them, for you to bless them while you curse yourself. Okay, so one man drink could be another man poison. And that's what's happening. And one man God could be another man devil, and another man devil could be another man God. Your wake up is their devil. You as a black person, your waking up is their devil. That's why they want to always keep you in poverty. Okay, and they use Christianity to do that. They interpret the Bible to you a certain way. And they have preachers to carry out the agenda. Just happen to scroll upon this real talk. Thank you very much. Real talk, me general. Yes, I. Yeah, man. Only generals speak like this. This is straight knowledge that come from a pure heart. Okay? I'm not out here to deceive people. Give thanks for the world, King. I see your perspective. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing knowledge, brother. Thank you for receiving the knowledge. And I hope you walk upon it. Okay? Remember to like and subscribe. Get this channel up to 25,000. When we reach there, then we go to the next level. Why put the information behind a paywall? This person wasn't listening to what I say. You can't put the breathing technique is the honey breathing technique. It is very sexual or sensual. Okay, this is the kind of breathing that they don't want you to really know about. And if you put it out publicly like that, YouTube gonna flag your video. What's so hard to understand that? Okay, stop worshiping people. You see people who worship money, okay, they all put more value on money than putting value on themselves. So stop talking about the paywall bullshit if you wasn't listening to what I was saying. I said if I put it on YouTube, the YouTube can flag my video. That's the reason why. Because I would have liked to have it out there just like Wim Hof. Look, Wim Hof breathing have millions of views. And my breathing is more powerful than Wim Hof breathing. I would have liked to have it out there like that. But I can't, because they will flag it. The most powerful, do you realize that the most powerful song? Do you realize the most powerful song is the exchanging of sacred energy, SEX? And you know, and let me say this, for years, okay, the information was coming to me at the power of the sexual song. Okay, the sexual song. It was coming to me, and not until just recently when I started to put out those videos, okay, that it really come to me that it is actually the most powerful ancient breathing technique there is. And that is what my spirit inside of me was conveying to me for a very long time. It's for years now. It was telling me about the song of sex. But I didn't quite get it. I thought it was just the song that, you know, like this, the foolish song that they just have on porn and so on and all of that. You understand? But it wasn't that. It was a breathing technique. And then when it was time now, I get it and I put it there. Okay? Self-reliance up. Yeah, Marcus Garvey said, self-reliance up, you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will. Yes. That's what it's all about, and that's what they don't want you to know. That's why they give you religion. We are blinded until we receive the light. Yes, that is true. That's why I'm bringing the light. And the programming, I'm exposing the programming, okay? And the programming system will always be here, okay? But you have to change yourself. So true, church is not for me, okay? Church is a brainwash. Church is a brainwash. It's for fools, okay? That's why they use fear to control you. Yes, I do eat fish. And all the fish I eat, they come from the sea, okay? Where we live, where I live, like for example, if you eat meat, you'll be eating. For example, if you eat beef, it'll be grass fed. Okay, we don't have those GMO shit and so on down here. Okay, most people down here eat more closer to nature. Okay, straight up, brother, truth, facts. Most people don't even know they are being controlled. Yeah, most people do not know that they're being controlled. As I said, it's more easier to deceive someone than to convince them that they've been deceived. Okay. As a preacher's kid, I walk away from the church and religion, and it was the best thing I ever did. I wish there's more people like you who will come to the realization and walk away. Okay, because it's all brainwash. Can you eat and talk? People like you, Dr. Amos Wilson, Malcolm X, true leaders. Yeah, I listened to Dr. Amos Wilson already, Dr. Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, and so on. Many others. Bobby Hemmett, Delbert Blair, and many others. Okay. Someone say, what about Omar? I guess you're talking about Omar Johnson. I 100% agree with him when he say about Black Queens ever and Snow Bunny never. I'm 100% with him with that. Okay, whether he's a deadbeat dad or whatever and all of these other things, I don't know about those things. But one thing I agree with him with is that I don't believe in interracial relationship at all. I'm totally against it. Okay. But I've never really been too much of a fan of Omar Johnson, okay? But I definitely agree with him with that, okay? African spirituality, we must get back to that place, okay? Well, all this is African spirituality because the real Africa is within, okay? And the Africa you see on the outside, the geographical Africa, just a reflection of that which is within. That's why there's so much wealth in Africa. But they have to go and cultivate and get the wealth out of it and process it for themselves. But they're not doing it. They're letting others do it. It's the same thing that they're doing when they give us religion and control our mind and keeping us in mental slavery and poverty. Okay? Someone say, LOL, Jesus is spirit, deep, mystery indeed. It's your own self. No man 2,000 years ago. Yes, sir, tell them. Why don't you explain breath work? I can't do everything right here, okay? I have my breath work separate, and my university, I'll be going there and I'll be doing some more deeper teachings there. Okay, so if you want more details into certain things, okay, well, you could check my university. Okay, the links down below. Yes, true, because you will just get old not really knowing who God is. Yeah, not knowing who you are. Okay, so you live your life here and you waste your life. Christianity and politics and all these things is for you to just waste your life. You be like a last soul on the planet. You can't love what you don't know, and a lot of people don't know themselves. Exactly. That's why I'm introducing people to themselves. Okay. That's why I'm saying that poverty is of the mind. Okay, so you have to heal the mind. Okay, that's why I say it is mind cure. The whole teaching I was bringing is a mind cure. Okay, he bowed down to their demonic altars. Who is he bowed down to their demonic altars? I don't know. Who are you talking about? If it's Kanye, whoever. Okay, but they do. Say call them out, yeah. They believe in Christian doctrine is spirituality crippling. Yeah, it cripples your spiritual senses. It cripples your common sense, which is basically your God sense. Your ability to really think and articulate. You understand? It keep you mentally retarded. Why have a people? Why giving my time and my energy without any return? Does that make any sense to you? Do you inhale and you don't exhale, or do you exhale and you don't inhale? Do you know one is giving and one is receiving? As you sow, so shall you reap. You see these people who may comment like these. These are people who are very, 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 very poor in their mind. They are poverty. They're people who are deep in poverty. They're sick. They carry on a disease. Just that comment alone is sick. It sick my stomach. You must take your time and your energy and give it out. When there's no such a thing as freeness, there's nothing for free. So even if I do not have a PayPal, right? Even if I didn't have a PayPal, okay, because I did lack compensation, because I gave first. There's so much thing will come back to me. Give and will come back to you. Good measure, press down, shaking together, and running over. Men will give what? Into your bosom. I have books. I have all of these different things. I have things to offer. Why shouldn't I have a PayPal? Idiot. True, my brother. I would just hug you right now. I feel you. Thank you very much, Hyacinth. Okay. Duality, funny how they fall. How do I fall or fail? Fail to acknowledge the dual nature of the God of the Bible, acting like he is all good. The very Bible says in Deuteronomy 32:13, it says, I am God and there is no lie. Say, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. You realize before man could kill, it had to be in his mind. Before man could heal, it had to be in his mind. Everything you do, all your words and your actions, it was first a thought, first an idea, first imagine God and the devil speaking of your mind. The higher self and the lower self, the positive and the negative. Learn the law of polarity, okay? So true from the Bahamas, Edward. Greetings to you from the Bahamas. It's really a pleasure having people from the Bahamas. Okay, I'm spreading truth that Miles Monroe couldn't spread. He was afraid to talk the truth. Okay, Miles Monroe did know the truth. You were afraid to talk the truth, and because Bahamas is so much a tourism island, truth like these would be very much fought against. Trust me, I'm not telling you. Mad Black brother, good to see you. Okay, and let me remind, change the channel. Mad, you see, a lot of people don't ask what is the meaning of MAD, but so I'm gonna let you know. It's mystically adept divinity. That's what I meant. So when I put BlackMadGuru, I've always known that people would think one way, think mad mean, oh, he crazy, yeah. But people have always said, oh, he crazy. Okay, so they inspire me to use something that would denote crazy to them, because if the system turn around and call you crazy, you already call yourself crazy too. Okay, but it's a twofold thing. So the matter is mystically adept divinity. Okay, was it Christians that stopped slavery? Jesus brought Christianity. No. If you go all the way back to Nicaea, Rome and so on, and the agenda they had and so on with Christianity, right? It was to justify slavery. Okay, there's no man who lived thousands of years ago named Jesus who walked the earth and do no special miracles. All bullshit. This person asks who exposed who never. Yeah. Okay, but because I go so long, I mightn't do the live, but I've been exposing them and I continue to expose them. I'll show you a lot of things. Okay, because this whole thing with Abdullah is a makeup thing. I've known it for a long time. I was just playing around all the time until the right time. Okay, where are you from? I answered that already. I'm from the Caribbean. My never got it, me never got it, never got it. They belong to a secret brotherhood, But when and the other channel as well, I'll be talking about that and show you. Okay, he talking about Abdullah and so on. He make up that, That's a make up story. Okay, he's actually mocking black people, but black people him pick it up yet. I'll show you. Okay, I ain't gonna go into it right now. Are you aware of ancient civilization like Tataria? Oh, like when he was asking me about Tataria. No. Most of the things that you hear me speak is from experience, okay? And most of the things I learn from comments like this comment. Because when you say about Tataria, I'll go now and I'll probably look it up and see. Okay, is it okay to smoke weed and tobacco? There's DMT in weed and so on. So a person can smoke weed if they moderate, if they could do it in moderation, and if they could have control over themselves where they don't get too addicted, and if they could use it for meditation and so on, and then have very high positive vibes, they could do it. But you might just outgrow it, because when you start to get so high in life, you'll outgrow wanting it. Okay? That was something I used many times already. Okay? And never could get addicted. Never, ever, ever. Never, ever. And never abuse it neither. Never. Okay? You ain't never seen the same thing. No, basically, no. What happened, right? You have to understand where Neville is basically walking on black people, because you do not know that Neville family have the biggest business in my country, and they have business throughout the islands and so on. And when I go into the more deeper details, I'll show you. You can understand. Okay, Neville first met a man in England who introduced him to certain things. Neville parents, they had own slaves. I could prove it to you. Okay, I have videos I do already. I have the newspaper when Richard Gaddard died just recently too. Okay, about maybe 2 years ago or so. I have that. I have those things I could give you. I have a blog on my other channel where I show you the businesses and everything. And after I did that, they put security and they do now, so you can't go up in the building again. The public can't go up in the building again. They have codes that you have to press, and only the workers know it. I'll go into things for you, bro. Okay? Days I'll go into some stuff for you on the other channel, as I continue to make videos and expose the whole Neville Gaddard scene. Neville Gaddard, Joseph Murphy, all of these people. Okay? All of these self-help teachers and new thoughts and so on. I'm going to start to show you, and you start to see, you will see where I'm coming from and why they put them things a certain way. And when you start to think more deeply, you start to review psychology, you start to understand. They are keepers of time, my brother. They know this time will come. Okay? Let me tell you something that they're good on. They're very good on parody, yeah? You have to understand that. Okay? And calling our children vipers when I look up blue eyes, probably picture of God not saying you're evil if you don't, but he probably had brown eyes. I don't know what this person talking about. They are the vipers. Okay, I don't know what they talking about. No perspective, but certain things have to remain hidden to be preserved. Yeah, certain things have to be what certain things supposed to be kept hidden to preserve. You have to be more clear on that. Okay? Because I could be speaking to you and speaking English. You hear me speaking English and I speaking in parables. But I speaking to you and you hear me and I still speaking in parables. I live all my life all like that all the time. I speak to people and still I know I speak in parables to them still. And they hearing me? Narissa Mills say exactly this. The truth is too powerful, so it has to be stayed hidden. Why should it be stayed hidden? Okay, let me just explain a little bit on what you're trying to say. Right? With great power comes great responsibility. I understand that. Okay, but you will never appreciate something and embrace it if you ain't ready for it. Come on. Don't come on here and speak like you have some affiliation to some other thing, you know, man. Don't do that. Okay? With great power comes great responsibility. Watch the Spider-Man movies and so on and all of those, and you hear they saying it. You understand? Yes, that is true. Because I know what I could use this power and do, but I wouldn't. Because why? Because I was ready for it when it came to me. If you tell me some people were not meant to share the knowledge, but some people born to share. Okay? Because everybody born in this world with a purpose. You say it's parables. Of course it's parables, I know. I want to hear about Neville. On my next channel, I have a channel named Abdullah Neville Gaddad. That's what I'm going to do more and that and expose a lot of stuff. Someone says he created us with his image. The person should go back to my last video where I show you where it says that God breathed the breath of life. We're talking about Genesis 2:7. Okay. We're saying it is you have to breathe life into your idea and make it a living reality. It's not an entity outside. Okay. You see, sometimes you hear people saying, "Oh, you have to keep certain things," and sometimes they don't give their allegiance to their secret brotherhood or society, or they don't join certain things. I'm not saying that about the people commenting here, right? But sometimes people do that, and sometimes they say, "Oh, people have to believe whatever they want to believe," and all of that. Someone say, "Well, anyone who want to believe in Jesus, I call him a monkey." Okay, I mean, they have an unorganized mind. Everyone should know that Yeshua was wrong. And you see another thing again? They divide people so much that people have all kind of name. Yeshua, Mahawa, all kind of foolishness. And not knowing their friggin' self. There's no man who existed thousands of years ago with no special powers, bro. Don't make nobody fool you. Okay? Me want to know why him no read Neville. I'm not against what Neville thought, you know. It's the lie about Abdullah. That's a lie. I know it's a lie. I'll go into more thing, man. I'll go into more thing, bro. I know I'm telling you. On my other channel, okay? I already did a video they call Neville Exposed. I'm going to do plenty of that and show you can't fool me. They remove Neville got a Wikipedia, you know, bro. And they remove certain things and they put back something there for all you. Who didn't know it was there and was moved. Religion is not righteousness, okay? And the person who had spoke about the whole thing with Neville and so on, they just 2022 they die. They live up to 100 years. So I know what I'm talking about, bro. You was so much into Neville that you're missing the whole thing. You see, and that's the same thing I was saying in the thing with Neville. I say they do that so melanated people wouldn't see when they own black mistake they right before their eyes. They can still be talking about Neville and still looking for where is Abdullah? Oh, was there anything written about Abdullah? Like, yo, catch yourself. The man mocking you. And you don't even know it. Do you realize that Neville say he was God? And if you believe the Abdullah story, you know what you're doing as a melanated person, bro? Bro, wake up. Wake up. I was going to so much a thing, I just want to read the comments to them. Okay? Sponsor is native Tasmanian. I ask you why would Neville give a black man credit. Neville never give no black man no credit. It's a mockery. I'm going to show you. Okay? I'm going to do some video about Neville and for my next channel okay? This brother is the truth. Okay, thank you very much. You think Neville give black man credit? Bro, all they get chick. All they get chick. I've been knowing that same thing I said in the video. It's to blind you from seeing a black man right before you. Enlightened, self-aware. A mistake and you can't see him. Talking about fucking Neville. Neville trick you. First man Neville met was in England. You know why Neville born in Barbados? You believe the story they tell about Neville probably poor? Neville probably was never friggin' poor. Boy, keep quiet. I said we're going to thing. Neville them always had soap and working in the house and thing. Anyway, let me go on. I deal with Neville and the other channel, bro. Okay? What happened to the cure for poverty? If you come on late, I don't do a whole hour where I was dealing with the cure. Okay, but I will run it back a little bit for you. Okay? Meditation. That is your medication. Okay? For poverty. But you'll definitely need purification. You have to purify your mind because you're suffering from a mental disease, a mental sickness passed down to you from your parents. So you have to be willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind. And you have to get rid of the Jesus and Mary story that was interpreted to you as literal and secular history. Okay? That is me basically just summarize it a little bit for you if you come on late. Okay? So you get the recipe right. It's easy. It's so simple. People just want look for things that's so complicated. I have a YouTube channel called Abdullah Never Gathered. Yeah, look, it's stated there. Okay? So I say check that. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be doing a lot of videos just exposing Neville, exposing Joseph Murphy, exposing so much of them. Plenty of them. You talking about Neville, man, it is a devil. Neville bigging up a black man, you get check. If you really want to big up a real black man, you should have big up brother divine, father divine, not brother, father divine. Go find out who a father divine. Let me give you some more whipping. You black brothers who talking, okay? If you want to big up any black man, you could have big up Pascal Beverly Randolph. Go find out who he is. Go find out who he be. And Father Divine. Man, when I done with Neville, and Neville will check a bunch of you. Yeah, what is the cure for poverty? I just run through it there. Okay? I tell you the cure is I tell you meditation is your medication. Okay? If you want to learn more about meditation, you can book a one-on-one with me. Okay? There's certain things that you better if you do it more in a more personal space. Okay? Someone said they love my accent. Well, this is how we speak in the Caribbean. At least in my country, this is how we speak. Whereas this country is in the Caribbean. I live in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, okay? The original name was Haruna, okay, which means land of the blessed, okay? May the grandmothers surround and protect this man, okay? I prefer when people ask on the ancestors to protect and so on and nature and so on. Don't say protect this man at all costs and thinking like, you know, man having bodyguard and all of this kind of thing. No. Okay, I already protected though. Okay. Greetings, speaking truth to facts, knowledge and understanding, much blessing. Okay. I wonder what the MI for, if it's Minnesota. I'm not sure. Okay, but thank you very much for the comment. Science of the Mind by Ernest Holmes. Great book. Yeah. You see, this brother Days, you fail to realize all this Holmes, all of these people, man. I could take all of these people walk and show you certain things and just use reverse psychology and show you, okay, where the white man really shit on your spirituality and you think they bring some sort of knowledge to you. Don't be like those who believe that they bring knowledge to we. They never bring no freaking knowledge to us, bro. They take our own thing and plagiarize it and flip it another freaking way for you, okay? Go on about the library, Alexandria and so on, and go on about all the books that are hidden in the Vatican. Happy Sunday from White Republican, Iowa, but a 100% black American woman. They love my black soul, my black skin, and my black family, and understand you. Okay, 100%. Yes, man. Thank you very much. Okay. And as a matter of fact, every day Sunday. Don't make it fully with Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Every day Sunday. That is something our people need to get in their head who call themselves Adventists and say they keep in Sabbath. Okay? Check out my video, the sexual Sabbath they don't want you to know. People having sex and don't even know they're in the act of creating. It's exactly, it's only now. Well, you say it's only now and you make Neville trick and tell about some black mystic in the past, but yet Neville in the present. Neville in the present. Everybody put it up on that Neville got a video, Neville got a this, Neville got a that, Nada got a this, Neville got a that. This boy is our agenda. Wake up. That's just another Jesus they're giving you. Manipulation at its highest. I wonder who's manipulating who. I know Christianity is where they used to manipulate you. The school system is where they used to manipulate you, and the political system is where they're using to manipulate the world. Where did you get your language? I don't know. Okay. I come and meet everyone speaking this language, English language, but I can tell you that I do not believe that our original language as melanated people, our black people, that it was this English language, because when the man from the burning bush that doesn't consume speak with me, he didn't speak to me in English, he speak to me in another language, but I could have interpreted what he was saying to me, okay? And as the message was given to Moses, which Moses meant to be born or taken out of the water, so it was given to me too, okay? That's why I tell you the Exodus they tell you about is a fake Exodus. This is the real Exodus right here. And that is why I am crossing you over into your Canaan land, the land of abundance. But where it's happening right here. That's why I'm saying you have to understand the cure for poverty, okay? Because it's a nasty, dirty, stinking disease of the mind. And it's been passed down to Christianity from generation to generation upon our people. And it's time for us to get rid of it. I must have come on the island late and missed the cure for... Oh, it must have come on the live, you mean? I must have came on the live, okay. Late, yeah, and missed it. But I just run through it a while ago there, okay? It's all about meditation, being the medication, okay, to heal the mental disease of the mind. Because poverty is mental, it's all psychological, it has to do with your belief system. That's the main thing. Okay, so basically I just running down the comments here, okay, because I want to make sure I interact with everyone. I need that, please. Tell me how to get it. I need help and guide on this journey. You can drop me an email. What do you want? I guess that's not for me. The matrix is the wall. Yeah, the matrix is the wall, which is basically an illusion. It's the Maya. Okay, and many people get trapped in the Maya, in the illusion. That's why they believe that they are human and they're trying to get spiritual. Okay? It's already 2 hours and a half, so I'm really gonna check and come to a close, eh? You need to rebuke. Of course, you need to rebuke a lot of people. There's another people need a lot of rebuking, okay? Kendra, you must rewatch the live later. Okay, yeah, you can definitely rewatch the live, okay, and get the first. You can get the first hour of the teaching, okay. Someone had to wipe booty and flip burgers, but it ain't going to be me. I love that. Rebuke poverty, yes, you must rebuke poverty. Okay, that lack of scarcity mindset, you must rebuke it. That's why you have to get rid of that religious mentality. Where you're from, so I already answered that. You know, I'm from the Caribbean, SVG. For someone that is learning and awakening to the truth, what do you suggest someone to do? I will suggest that you start loving and believing and embracing yourself just as you are right now, right at this very moment. Whatever situation, whatever condition you're in, accept yourself, love yourself, and embrace yourself from there on. Okay, go in the mirror, start in the mirror, and start to watch yourself straight in the eyes, straight to the soul, and start to speak love to yourself. Start to make love in the mirror, man. Okay? Pleasure yourself in the mirror. Start by pleasuring yourself in the mirror. That's a video I do to check it out. Okay? And when I say pleasure, some people only thinking on the carnal, not just the carnal. Okay, that's true. Jamaica, imagine. I'm a 23-year-old young black man, and I really needed this message. Thank you, MadGuru. Thank you very much for tuning in. It means that you've been searching and you vibrate on these frequencies. Go to have on this frequency. Okay, another brother say the same to them, okay? This is not accident. There's no coincidence. Okay. This is divinely. This is something that is divinely happening. Okay. So make use of it. Okay. Big up BlackMadGuru. Okay. Big up to you too. Dietary Deluxe. Kendra, bless up. I'll rewatch the live later from the beginning. Everybody enjoy your day. Okay, yes, I will definitely encourage you to do that. The first hour is where I was just doing more teaching. Okay, I'm 21. Reese, I'm Reese too. Okay, for someone that is learning and awakening the truth, what do you say? Okay, already answer that. Let's be paid in full. Okay, yes. It's true, and people are angry with God because they're angry with themselves. Okay, not any entity outside yourself, because there's no entity outside. Okay, so they're angry with yourself. It's yourself. Okay, that's God. There's no other God. I'm not angry with God. I'm angry with human pretending to speak for God. Well, you can't waste your energy being angry, with those people, because that is emotion and that is energy in motion. Direct your emotion in more positive and uplifting ways to help you. Okay? Whatever change you want to see in this world, you be the change. I always say that. Okay? When you don't get the truth, you just want to spread it, but trust me, work on changing yourself. If Jesus is not real, how I read the Bible and get inspiration? If Jesus is real, why are you reading and imagining an imaginary man? Answer the question. Every time you read about Jesus, is imagine you imagine. And the reason why you get inspiration, because anything can inspire you once feeling and emotion is added to it. Once you believe, there's magic in believing. And you're a magician and you don't even know it. Okay, so once you believe anything, okay, the homosexual believe, right, in what he's practicing, though it is unnatural. But yet, it takes the homosexual to show another man that he's straight. The law of polarity. Okay, so if you came in this world and you was told to go and kiss a stone and love a stone because the stone is God, and you believe that, you would have been getting result too. But the result would have been temporal and would not bring true freedom. And that's what happening with people calling on Jesus. He don't bring true freedom. Okay? You can't save you and you not pay your bills. The people who you have to pay the bills to, they know the truth. That's why they set up things to put yoke around your neck. Okay? Everything about Jesus and Christianity is based on faith. Okay? And the reason why you get involved is because you have some sort of fear inside of you. Okay? The light is not all it's cracked up to be. There is power within darkness. Well, out of the darkness comes the light. Okay? That's why when you be trapped in church and so on, or the darkness, okay, when someone like myself come now, I come and bring the light. That's why I'm not telling you to get rid of your Bible. I'm just telling you have to learn to understand that the Bible is a book of mind science and understand it on all three levels, which is the physical, the psychological, and the spiritual, and it can set you free and get rid of mental slavery, and you will get out of poverty too. Okay? Falcons. Flesh is a garment that ages and eventually wears out. Of course, the flesh is just a garment. The real you is within. Okay? I really want to come to a close here, but I just want to read on these other comments. No power in darkness. Okay? There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so through the darkness, okay, you have to seek for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the darkness is to reflect the light. The darkness is telling you light is somewhere. Okay? I'm black. It's fully powerful. Of course, we are all powerful carbon beings, okay? For someone that is awakening, what should I do? Do to unlearn, and what do I start studying? I think I answered that already. Because you have to start with self. Remember, I talk about going in the mirror and so on. Okay, and loving yourself and believing yourself and embracing yourself, okay? If there's anything else, you could always email me, okay? Okay, talk about the breath walk. Okay, I can't go into all of that right now. I have the breath work, the honey, sexual breathing. Okay, it's on my university. Okay, the links down below. Okay, I can't put it on YouTube. okay? Because they will take it down. They'll ask me to take it down, okay? Because you hear the song like sex, you know, they're going to tell you, take it down, okay? God has been around longer than Jesus. It's the son have been around. Say that, okay? It's called love, okay? Close as you can get is a good mother's love for her children, okay? It's good people could see things from a different perspective, okay? Because woman was here before man. There's no man that came out of, there's no woman that came out of a man. That's a lie. Okay, every man on this planet came out of a woman. Everyone. Okay. Let me see down here. I suggest one should believe in oneself, reach inside and try to bring forth one's passion and goals. Just believe in self. Yeah. Start with self. Yeah, believe in yourself. Are you talking the devil or what darkness? I don't understand. The devil is a lower self though. Your negative thinking. That's the devil. There's no other devil. Okay? Keep the fire burning, love. That hope to meet you soon. Okay? When you've been indoctrinated for so long, I'm asking how can you do that? Well, when you're coming out of being indoctrinated for so long, you have to realize that it's a process. So as you open up your mind to be to renew your mind and to reprogram, right? You being willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind. The more willing you are, is the more thing will be open up to you. Okay, but it's an ongoing process. It's something that doesn't stop. Even me being at this stage, being enlightened and awakened, every time it teaches me how deep and how dark religion is, especially Christianity and Churchianity. It's a deep, deep, deep pit. So you spend your whole life reprogramming yourself. It's an ongoing thing. Love is key, yeah. Self-love, yeah. Jesus Christ is a power within all of us, not a person. Okay, that is so true, okay? But don't even use that word, just say Christ, okay? Because the Jesus was added to make you take a personification for a person, and they paid that person to be white, okay? So don't just say it's a power inside of you. You have to use the power. And when you use the power and you display the power will speak for itself. Because people will see. Okay, that's why I say let your light so shine. Do you believe that you have to believe in to get? There's no heaven but with it, that which is within you. Okay? There's no Jesus. No Jesus never exists. No man 2,000 years ago never exists. Okay? You're taking a personification for a person. Get rid of that belief. That's what keeping you in mental poverty. Okay? Because real poverty is a lack of knowing who you are. 1921 was over 100 years age, so you are blaming. Well, why they still have thing against Haiti and Jamaica? Because we defeat the pale man in Haiti. Why they still have Africa the way how they have Africa? But the system still down here, okay, with the slave master and their children. I'm not even gonna entertain that person anymore. Where is he reading coming from? Is it in here? Yeah, if I'm right here, all these different comments, there's so much. The color of your skin isn't meant to be an excuse for what? Nobody uses no color skin for an excuse. Okay. The people have been judged by the color of the skin in America and all around the freaking world. Okay, people have been given certain privilege because of the color of the skin. So people talking all of this shit need to wake up. Okay? You've been judged by the color of skin in America. When the cops pull you over, tell them that. Don't come and tell me that. Okay? Things happen before we mix. Things happen before we mix. Okay? I don't believe in mixing at all. Do you think we are all reincarnated? I don't know about all of us, but I believe in reincarnation. Okay? I definitely believe in that. Okay? But I believe if you're ignorant and you die ignorant, you're coming back here being freaking ignorant again. And starting all over again because you never learn to be spirit. Because you get trapped in here. Okay? If the ego ignorance and religion. Self-love and God, the ego, ignorance, arrogance, pride, and religion. Okay. What is your thinking about reincarnation, brother? Please tell me. Okay, I don't comment on that already. There's something I can't go too much in, right? Because it's almost 3 hours now. Bible written by all different people around the world, same thing. It doesn't matter how much who wrote the Bible or whatever, it all goes back to the mind. No book could be written and it wasn't first a thought or idea in the mind. It's all mental. That's what I'm telling you. The poverty is a mental disease, okay? A boy can't be talking to a man, of course. What about 1921? That's when they born. That's when 1921 is when they born Black Wall Street. Okay. I agree there is only this present moment. Of course. Yes, because every day we are going to church for deliverance and you could never be delivered. Okay. You're more bandage than anything else. Yes, I have always known my whole life that jobs, college, career, politics, religion, celebrities were all given to us, and this is hell that we live in. I escape this system, but still I yearn for truth. Okay. Well, this is more truth you get in, and the truth could only be found within you, and you keep getting more and more and more and more and more truth as you continue to live, and you be open-minded. What about 60,000 BC back in the good old days? The fact that they're using BC is just to tell is a make-up story, okay? Because they can't be before Christ. When Christ consciousness have always been here, okay? Christ consciousness have always been here. Consciousness is the only reality there is, okay? Where are your thoughts stored? Okay? Well, just like a computer have a CPU, a central processing unit, you have that they call it the Akashic record, okay? Well, me personally, I would say where it been stored, I would say the solar plexus. That's where I would say it's been stored. Everything is in the sun. Everything is in the sun. Okay? I don't know. They can control you and overpower you. It's only one. But if the people understand self, love, and God within, we can control and overpower them forever. That's true. Okay? That's why everything starts with self. You have to learn to love yourself, but you have to free yourself. Somebody say go to law school. The real law are the immutable laws. You can't plant pumpkin and reap watermelon. And the last system that people go to school for, it came off universal laws, immutable laws, like the law of correspondence, law of mentalism, law of rhythm, law of cause and effect, and those are the laws, okay? When I'm having too much fun, I feel an oppressive presence around me. I wish they would. Okay, children of the sun. Of course, yeah, we are children of the sun, not a snowman. Okay, I'm surprised that you entertain that troll. Yeah, you have to always give everybody a little bit of something. Okay, you have to still sometimes entertain them. Okay, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for some form of attention. They need help too. Okay, you have to understand that, and they have the perspective too, and we need them too. Okay, we need the trolls. Okay, we are bleed red. It doesn't matter if we are bleed red. Okay, that have no place to block the truth. The truth must still be said, because those people who are enslaved or were beaten or raped or done all of these things, they were bleeding red. Okay? And that's why when your time comes to bleed, you will bleed red too. Okay? Because what goes so must come back so. Okay? This knowledge needs to be spread as fast as Christianity and these other Fugazi religions. Yeah. This kind of truth, need to go all around the world, especially Africa, because the day when Africans get this truth and they really wake up, I'm telling you, these preachers in Africa are going hiding. Hybrid fruit is spoiled fruit with less nutritious content. Yeah, and that's why they have a hybrid agenda, okay? This mixed race thing is not a good thing, okay? And I wouldn't encourage no black person to get into any interracial relationship. I didn't know that I have tried some of the fruit. Okay. I don't eat hybrid fruit. That's why I don't eat wax apple and those things. Who have an go here, okay? Facts. Stay focused, brother. You too. Just as you have hybrid fruit, there's hybrid people, not fully human. Okay. Yes, you cause God left us. We are left with his word. That is someone who's actually separating themselves from God. They really believe he has some entity outside. You can't do nothing to help that person. They ain't ready to wake up what the matrix says. Holy guacamole. It's almost 3 a.m. where I am. Okay, that someone is some other part of the world. Thank you. I thought the angels are from the enemy since they are black. Cause all we hear is why Jesus taught angels. Exactly, angel mindset, devil equal mindset. Okay, everything is basically goes back to your mind. Okay, and that's why they're after your mind. Okay, and that's what they've been doing to black people for so long. Okay, they're controlling their mind through the religious system and the political system and the school system too. Okay, especially if you're born in a colony. Okay, a country that been colonized. Yes, I thought the black creatures or demons. That's what they try to do. Everything that was evil, they try to show it as in black. Okay, demons are just a negative thoughts. How can we purify ourselves? To purify yourself, you have to be open-minded. You have to be willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind and learn to focus on what you want instead of focusing on what you don't want. And stop blaming the devil. Okay, because you are the devil. Okay. How do we purify ourselves? Okay, I think I don't answer that. How to reprogram. As I said, you have to be willing to unlearn and relearn. Okay, and reprogram your subconscious mind. Okay, you have to change your belief system. You must have a radical change of thinking. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals and flow there. I'm sure humanity will evolve from our disastrous past. One day, there's no past, it's just now. Okay, but as the cycle keep happening over and over and over, people gonna wake up. More people gonna wake up. We are still in the flesh. But even if you're in the flesh, it doesn't mean that your original being is not spirit. You're still spirit. And you're having a human experience. Okay, another revolutionary black guru. Give thanks for the truth. You are welcome. Okay. Be part of the revolution. Join the revolution. They will certainly say, you are mad indeed. Mad with the truth. Okay. Yeah. And my mad is mystically adept divinity. Okay. How do we purify ourselves? Okay. A radical change of thinking. Okay. It's a radical change of thinking. You have to be willing to unlearn everything that was taught to you from your parents and from your childhood right up. Okay. With divine love, Lamont, with divine unconditional love. Okay. Yes. Solomon was a preacher. No, Solomon does represent the sun, man, the sun in you. Okay. When the sun ignites within you, okay, all the wisdom will be known to you. Okay. And you will come into a real golden age in your life. You're the real Solomon, okay? The sun man is the sun in man, the S-U-N. Okay, awakening in S-O-N. Don't make the fool about no man with no preacher. Okay, you will understand divine science, you'll understand magic, you'll understand all those things when you have your Solomon experience. I'm talking from experience. Both expressing and receiving how rude Madguru, how can we purify ourselves? I think I answered that many times, okay? Like Beyonce in her prime. Thank you for your time. Poverty mindset. My granny told us that day, stay with your own blood. Oh yeah, stay with your own. You are you're a monkey to them or anyone else by having boundaries and standing on them. Yeah, when you stand for the truth. But when you believe the foolishness they give you, okay, you're a monkey. Okay, don't believe the foolishness that they give you to Christianity and so on. By recalling the past, you drag it into the present. No, there's no past. There's only present, bro. Don't make nobody fool. That's bullshit. That's one the brainwash they give you. Tell you about past. Okay, there's only now. The mind is outside of the mind is outside of the body. Well, it's a reflection. Okay, so to say that the mind is out of the body is a reflection. Okay, everything is a reflection. Okay, of spirit. So how the mind gonna be outside the body and the freaking spirit? Yeah, the body, the body can't exist without the spirit. And the reflection of the spirit have to go through the body to see it outwardly. Come on. I to be cleansed, I want to be a part of it. Maybe you can make it subliminal. Yeah. Sometimes I make a subliminal sometime. Okay. Your belief system is the lens of your perception, of course. And that is what keeping people in poverty. Okay. You can't have demonstration with demon. Okay. Because it's thoughts. Okay. Demons are thoughts. Okay. Negative thoughts. Okay. Africa is the largest continent, and what they do on the map doesn't do it justice. Because why? Because they infiltrate the mind of the people. Okay, that's what they did. Okay, they use religion to do so. Knowledge must be used to be power. Okay, yeah, knowledge. You have to use the knowledge. You have to apply it. Beliefs come from external stimulation. No. Okay, it's from within. Okay, it's from within. Okay, it's from within. But they keep you looking at the external. Okay, but everything starts from within. Everything comes from within. Even in free tongue, there's nothing for free. Okay, thanks again for your time. Master your mind. I'm going to get free chicken wing on Tuesday for chicken. In the break the spell. Of course, it is a spell. That was talking, but you have to break the spell. Okay, figure this life out as you go and flow. Okay, I think I definitely gonna come to a close here. Okay, it's 3 hours. I really want to thank you all very much. I couldn't get to read all of the comments, but I really want to thank you all very much, and I will definitely encourage you to tune in for another live and things you like for me to simplify more. You can ask me to do videos on those. Those of you who like to join my university, you're welcome. Those who like things to be more clarified, you could book a one-on-one with me. Whatever your choice, okay? Always just let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace. Love you all. I'm out.